Gonna happen until the day I die. Every day, I'm gonna come online and I'm gonna say, all gods are imaginary. Prove me wrong. Starting today. Of course, starting today. Why wouldn't I start today? So, yes, so here's the deal. The room is open. You can come in and prove me wrong, but I'm telling you that all gods are imaginary. And while we wait for you beautiful people to join and prove me wrong, I'm going to try and find... Where is everything here? Ah, there it is. Sorry. I was kind of lost a little bit. But anyway, yeah, come on in, prove me wrong, and in the meantime, I will just, let's see. What if I do that? And let's just watch stuff for a bit, you know. Why not?
In my book, Why I'm Not a Christian, I basically outline and explain in detail 4 reasons why I'm not a Christian. And if those reasons were met in the way that I explain in the book, that I would become a Christian. But the evidence just doesn't pan out. And basically it comes down to God is silent, God is inert, we have the wrong evidence, and we have the wrong universe. And those are the 4 things, and I explain each one of them. The first is that God is silent. I mean, if God really cared about us and wanted us to believe the right things and go on the right path, he would tell all of us himself. He wouldn't need Christian missionaries to do it. And he would have been telling us as soon as we had language, right? As soon as we could understand. So we would have, from the first shaman 40,000 years ago, in every culture everywhere, God's gospel would have been preached to them by God himself. He wouldn't need intermediaries. And so we would be able to confirm that, yes, there's this guy somewhere who is giving us all the same information. And so we would know what that information is. And we would still have the freedom to reject that message or not care about it or whatever. But we would all agree on what the message was. There wouldn't be disagreements on it. And every little thing. That we'd be able to ask him questions like, say, so what is your position on abortion, right? And he would give us all the same answer, and so we could confirm, yeah, this God guy, that's what he said, you're right. So if there was a God like that, and certainly if I were in a position of a deity like that, I would feel that that would be profoundly immoral of me to not communicate with my subjects, to let them know the things they need to know, be there for them to answer their questions, and so on if they asked. The fact that God doesn't do that, there's no communications from God, no reliable, consistent communications. There's people who claim to talk to God, but everybody who does that gets different messages. So we're clearly not dealing with a consistent, caring deity in that respect. So the silence of God is a big problem. The other is that God is inert. He doesn't do anything. And it's not that he doesn't do any specific thing. You could pick any particular thing you think God should do and give an excuse for why he wouldn't do that. But he doesn't do anything. The odds that he would do nothing whatsoever. I mean, if he did at least some things consistently, we could debate about whether he cared about us, or we could debate about how powerful he was or anything. But we would all agree that he existed and that he was interfering in the world in certain ways. We might even be able to talk about how he's helping us and things like that.
What about all the miracles that everybody constantly tells me that they prayed for something and then it happened?
Well, yeah, when those things happen, the praying for something, that's a correlation fallacy. Correlation is not causation. Lucky things happen to everybody, right? And some of those things are going to inevitably happen. To give you an example, if let's say it's something that's 1,000,000 to 1 odds against it happening, 1,000,000 to 1 odds against it happening like soon after you prayed for it. Well, there's 300 million people in the U.S. alone. So that means that those events, just by chance alone, are going to occur to 300 people a year, right? So that's a lot of people. So you could find 300 witnesses that say, yeah, 1,000,000 to 1 odds, I prayed for it and that happened. Yeah, statistically, that we know that's going to happen anyway, even if there's no God, right? So when people understand stats and statistics and math, then those kinds of claims go away. And
so you think if people are kind of ignoring the times when they pray and it doesn't happen?
That's another issue. And then, of course, there's also claims that are ridiculous. And then when we go investigate them, they turn out to not pan out. That's why when you hear these like, oh, there's these miracles, this resurrection, and all this stuff that I heard about, yeah, you have to go like into the jungles of Africa to go find these claims, exactly where scientists can't really check them, where there isn't documentation, where there aren't doctors and so forth to confirm that there's no hijinks going on. The fact that you have to go to places where you can't check the facts, and those are the only places you ever find these miracle claims, that's suspect right there. But what I'm talking about are more direct things. So, for example, these mass shootings, for example, the recent one where a guy goes in and basically murders 20, 30 kids. Why would God let that happen? That's pointless. Certainly, at the very least, he could stop the guy and say, hey, let's have a conversation. If the guy's insane, God could cure his illness and say, okay, problem solved. And if, even despite all that, the guy still insists on going, he could turn the bullets into popcorn and say, sorry, I'm not letting you do that. There's lots of things that God could do. And I talk about how, for example, how our friends, how our fathers, our mothers, people we know who care about us, what they do for us when we need help, when we ask for help. God doesn't do any of that. He doesn't act like a caring parent. He doesn't act like a caring friend. He doesn't engage with us in the world. He doesn't do anything to right injustices or any of the things that we would expect
so you're saying that
caring person would do.
I noticed in your book, too, you used an example of if you had the power to intervene to stop somebody being kidnapped or tortured or whatever and didn't do anything, how would people judge you?
Yeah, and not just how would I judge myself? I mean, I would feel awful about myself. Why would I do something? Why would I be so insensitive to that? And people will come up with apologetical answers to that, but I also address those in the book. And generally, the immediate rationalization is, well, God can't stop everything because then the world would be boring. It's like, yeah, but you don't need women's breasts being chopped off in the Congo for for there to be struggle and things that we need to learn. We don't need these horrific things happening. We don't need to have mass shooters murdering dozens of kids. We don't need those things. It's not like if we got rid of those things, the world would be boring. So these kinds of arguments, you really need to use your imagination and think them through. And I think a problem I often run into with Christians is they either don't have a good imagination or they aren't using it. Because if you really used your imagination, you could imagine and envision a world that's just as exciting and has learning struggles and all of the things we would need for a good life without the horrific injustices that pervade the world. And obviously they must exist if you think you're going to heaven and heaven is going to be any better than this place. Are there mass shootings in heaven? So is heaven going to be boring? Is that going to be an awful place to live? So you got to really reason this through. If heaven's going to be a great place to live, then there's a better world we could make of this world. And many other points I make in the book. So that the God is inert and God is silent, those are big problems. The Christian thesis that God cares about us doesn't hold up in the face of that evidence. And the other is the wrong evidence. We just don't have the kind of evidence we would need to confirm this. The kind of evidence we have is the same kind of evidence we have for all other religions and all other myths and so on. If there was a real God, he would give us much better evidence than that, and it would be the Christian God especially could give us really good evidence where it was clear. And then the thing that people find surprising, I guess, is the fourth reason, which is it's the wrong universe. This isn't the universe that a Christian God would make. It's exactly the universe we would have if there was no God, which is... People say, what? How is that possible? But if you think about it, just for example, I talk about many other examples in the book, but just as one of the examples, if there is no God, and let's just use our imaginations for a moment, if there is no God, but we did come to exist, that somehow, some non-God way, the universe came to exist and we came to exist, what universe would we see in that case? Now, we know that we've evolved for billions of years from single-celled organisms. We can confirm that extensively scientifically. And the single-celled organisms, the earliest, simplest versions of them, had to have been a chemical accident. There had to be the chemicals just randomly came together and just happened to produce a self-replicator. And we know that that's very improbable, right? So that kind of thing is not just going to happen every day. So the only way it could happen without a God doing it, without an intelligent engineer doing it, is if there were tons and tons of trials. It's like winning a lottery. If the winning lottery may be 1 in a million chance, that's really low. But if 1 million people play, the probability that someone's going to win the lottery is high. In fact, it's very high. And so what we would expect is we would have to see a vast universe, a universe that's really old with tons of planets and stars that has been experimenting with chemistry on vast scales for vast periods of time. That's the only universe that would randomly kick up life. That's the only kind of universe that would randomly kick up life. So the universe we would expect to see if there was no God is a universe that's vastly old, vastly large, and filled with vast quantities of stuff. And that's exactly the universe we see. There's billions of galaxies, billions of planets. The universe has been around for billions of years, and it's billions of light years across. And so that's an example of the kind of universe we would expect to see if there was no God. The kind of universe we would expect to see if there was a God is a universe that was actually designed by a God. You know, you wouldn't need a vast age, you wouldn't need a vast universe, we wouldn't need evolution. Really, Genesis would be confirmed scientifically. We would confirm that the Earth was created 6 or 10,000 years ago. We'd confirm that all species were created at the same time. We would be able to verify all of these things scientifically. There wouldn't be billions of galaxies. What use would God have for all of that? It's not necessary. There are lots of things that he could do, that he could have the universe governed morally, for example, that there could be a moral law like karma or something, so that if someone, for example, one example I give is the more evil that you are in your behavior and stuff, the more sickly and vulnerable you become. Whereas if you're the more righteous and the more kind and compassionate and honest you are, the more invulnerable you are to injury and illness. Now, if we had a law like that, a law of physics like that, that would really prove moral governance of the universe. And that would be something that couldn't exist unless there was some sort of deity imbuing the universe with this understanding of this moral law that made this happen. So we would expect not necessarily that specific universe, but something like that. There would be a universe that looked like a universe created by a God, and not a universe that looks exactly like we would expect if there was no God at all.
Well, scientists say that something can't come from nothing, and therefore the start of the universe had to have been started by God.
Right. So something can't come from nothing is the claim there. Yeah, we don't actually know that. I mean, it's funny. If you're going to say that something can't come from nothing, you're basically describing a law of physics, which is something. So if there really is nothing, then even that law of physics can't apply, right? So the idea that nothing can't become something else, if there's really nothing, then that law doesn't apply either. So anything can happen. I mean, if there's really nothing, if everything began with nothing, then all bets are off. We have no idea what could occur, what could pop out of that nothing, because there's no laws of physics that exist that govern what's going to happen. So that's one immediate problem with it. Another problem is we don't really know that it came from nothing, because as far as we know, there could always have been something.
Yes.
This is a common confusion
Yes.
with Christians, is that we can trace back our universe, the universe we're in, back to a Big Bang, but we can't go any further back.
Hello, Mike.
From that.
Mika.
We don't have any evidence,
Mika,
any access
hi.
to what happened before that. So we don't know if there was nothing before that. There may have been all kinds of things before that. There are many hypotheses about how there could have been universes before that, and that we are a product of those universes. And it could be universes all the way down, as far as we know. And there are apologetical attempts to
Hey, Bill.
you can't have a past infinite set, but you really can. I mean, it actually is possible. You could have an infinite string of stuff, and it's just gone through cycles, or different universes have sprouted out of different other universes, and so on. I mean, it is entirely possible. We just don't know, and so you can't argue from what we don't know to a conclusion like, well, it must have been God. Well, we don't know that. If it was God, we would have better evidence of it.
It also kind of seems that if that's the logic they're using to prove God, well, then they've just stepped back from the creation of the universe to then creating God.
Right. Yeah. And then, of course, they'll say that, well, God always existed. Well, that's what I'm talking about, the universe. If God can always exist, the universe can always exist. Or they'll say, well, God necessarily exists. Well, maybe there's something non-God-like that necessarily exists that did it instead. And other things you can point out is that a God is massively complex, is a really complex explanation or something, because if you think of all the random minds that you could grab out of all possible minds, to get one that was infinitely powerful and infinitely wise and infinitely knowledgeable and all of that, that's like the least probable mind you're going to get.
Right. Okay, Bill. Hey, Bill Pasdu, this is a challenge to you. All gods are imaginary. Prove me wrong, dude. His name is Richard Carrier. Why do you hate him? Why do you hate him? Tell me why you hate Richard Carrier. So, the room is open, as you might have figured out. And I am waiting. I'm waiting for someone to come in and give me a damn good argument for your God. And he's just annoying? What do you mean he's just annoying? He's coming up with facts, and he's coming up with reliable history. But anyway, we have your favorite friend and my favorite friend up next. Let's see what happens here. I am going to keep this open for as long as I can pretty much, wait. So come on in, somebody. He's part in Atheist Plus. What's all that about? I don't know what that is. It doesn't matter, I guess.
Let me see. I don't think it's going to take 10 minutes to disprove the existence of God. The I gotta turn this. Oh. Well, I managed to talk to Darth for a few minutes the other day, and I'm sorry. He called me a liar and kicked me out of the room.
He's such a wuss. He's such a party pooper, like seriously. What's with that guy?
Well, he calls me up. Bill, come on up. Bill, come on up. You're a member just like me.
Right.
There's nothing in your profile. Who are you, Bill? Come on up and introduce yourself.
Okay.
So I come up there and say, I don't want to argue with you, Darth. I just like to listen. All I want to do is listen.
Right.
But you've kicked me out before just because I wouldn't come up. So
Right.
I'm just here to introduce myself. Then I made my mistake. I am a non-believer, but I don't really want to argue about that.
I didn't like
and
that
then
either.
it began.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh
And
man.
it began.
So did he put you on his stalker list?
Turn that down. Yeah, well, he kicked me from the room, and I can't get back in. It's Clubhouse. It's a funky thing.
Oh, that yeah.
Join and all that crap.
So yeah.
It may pop up. I may be able to get in a couple days. That's the way it's been before.
Yeah.
But I'm working on some sort of response.
I'm trying to find out something.
Yeah.
What is Atheist Plus? Lucky7 Wolfen has said Atheist Plus was an attempt by idiots to make atheism a social movement. What the fuck is that about? I don't get that. What do you mean atheism a social movement? What? Huh? Any idea?
I don't have any idea. It sounds like a pretext for charging membership dues.
Yeah. True. That's too funny.
An atheist tithe.
Yeah.
Well, this lucky guy, he does respond quite a bit. I still don't know whether he's up or down, but
he's speaking his mind. He can't ask for more than that. Well done, Lucky. Do you do what you do, Lucky 7?
Yeah, I'm just saying, step up. Come on up, introduce yourself to us.
Oh, Google it, he says. What is Atheist Plus? Google it.
I'll do that.
No, don't fucking Google it. People say to me, Google it. It's like they're saying Heil Hitler. Fuck you.
Gosh darn it. What's going on with these crazy tiles? I'm sorry.
The crazy tiles of Google Meet.
Yeah, there was a thing sitting right in the middle of my thing, and I was trying to get it to reduce or.
Well, guess what?
I did. Yeah.
We don't see it.
Okay.
Or at least I don't see it.
Well, that's the way it is with God. I did manage to say to Darth. He asked me, how is it God does not exist? And I said, God does not exist in the same way that anything that doesn't exist doesn't exist. It doesn't occur. And that's when he started, and you're prevaricating.
Hey, did you watch any of the Greg Bonson videos I put up? I'm gonna go back and finish the whole lot because Greg Bonson is the. If you listen to Darth Dawkins and you listen to Greg Bonson, his lectures, you'll see that Darth Dawkins is just basically parroting whatever, everything he says is coming from Greg Bonson or Van Til, who Greg Bonson mentions a few times. So Darth Dawkins has got nothing new. He's just parroting Greg Bonson and Van Til.
Well, I managed to tape, I taped Audacity. I taped my session with him, with Darth, but
good.
It didn't get my microphone at all. It just was him.
Well, that's fine.
So I'm going to do some editing because
you can put anything you like.
Yeah, I'm going to edit the thing. And I'm going to be able to say the things I want to say, and I'll post it on YouTube, and it'll say Bill Pasdu successfully filibustered.
Oh, I want to mirror it on my channel when you're done. All right.
Well, I'll send it right to you.
Okay.
And, yeah, so then I'll get to say the things that people.
Actually, you know what we could do? You could do? When you send it to me, we could go live and we could have a reaction session, a reaction stream.
The Sidney Pasdu Show.
The Sidney Pasdu. There you go.
Well, I'm working on it. So I chopped everything up, so I've got every little thing that he said separate, and then I'll be able to. I have to record my responses and come up with a thing. It might take a couple days. That's how.
Okay, so we got the Sidney Winston and Bill Pasdu show. Now, what I need from you is a full medical to find out how long you're going to last. If you're going to, die in the middle of the season, then I need to make sure that there's. Hold on, I got to turn microphone down.
Well, when Darth.
Okay,
when
there
Darth
you go.
asks,
I'll turn. There you go. I'm sorry. Carry on.
When Darth asks me how old am I will tell him I'm old enough to have been possibly switched with him in the maternity ward. Possibly being raised by your mother. So
oh, it's funny.
I'm going to have my way with him.
Well, I hope that you both have a relaxing and sporting time.
All right. Well, I wanted to do you a Thanksgiving solid and come and visit you for a few minutes, but
I appreciate it. That's good.
I'm jumping out. Lucky, come on, step on up.
Yeah, carry on. No, just carry on.
He's the guy with the bad connection, I think, isn't he?
Lucky? No,
I think that was.
He can hear me fine. I mean, I was getting a message. Listen, I get messages from Google every now and again that viewers will experience buffering. So. I'm going to let you know when I get that message, and then just let me know if you are experiencing buffering. I've never asked before. Lucky 7, how's the mic situation now? Hey, a square circle, too heavy to lift?
Let me see.
Ooh, now there's a man who's carrying a burden for an avatar. Listen to this. A square circle too heavy to lift. Bill is still low. Okay, I have to...
Low?
No, it's probably on my end.
Well, Bill's... Bill's...
There we go.
Bill's going to be going, is what he's going to be doing.
No, we don't. We can't. The world is too precious. Life has meaning. Bill, don't go.
I feel like you're goading me like Darth did. He gets me up there, and then I tell him I just want to listen. And he says, you're kicked. He says, you're kicked, and he throws me out.
Thank you, Lucky. We've got now that we've got the audio perfect, stay 5 more minutes.
I'll give you 5 minutes. I won't say anything, but you can look at me. No, now I got that thing in my screen again, right in the middle.
What's in the middle?
It's got to pin yourself, then it's got to remove this tile, and then it's got to minimize.
Okay, go to your 3 dots at the bottom of your screen. Yeah. Click on it, and then go to change layout.
Okay. Wait a minute. 3 dots.
And then just click on tiled.
3 dots. Oh, here it is. Okay. Whiteboard. Change layout. Tiled. Yeah, it says auto.
Just click on tiled. Click on tiled.
Right, that's what it was on. Okay,
It
now
was, on tiled.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, it's still showing it. I'm going to go down to these settings.
So
again.
what was it showing? Also, at the bottom of that, you could there's a slider for the number of tiles to display.
Yeah, it's on 16. I think that's a bridge too far.
Mine's on 9.
No, so when I minimize it, I get this options thing floating in there. Minimize, remove the tile, or pin yourself to the main screen. And okay, now it's gone. No, it just disappeared.
Well done.
When I put my arrow on the tile.
Oh yeah, I just did that.
When I go away,
yeah.
I'm such a newbie.
It's okay. That's why I invite you to stay in this conversation room, so that you can learn all the buttons.
You got to put in my flight time if I want to be a pilot.
Right.
Okay.
So, can you give us the gist? Oh, I guess you already did. How long is that video? Or the audio, I should say.
It's like 4 minutes.
Beautiful. Perfect. 4 minutes. We can do a reaction live stream to a 4-minute video, and it can take 60 minutes.
Yeah, but when I put my say-so in it, it's going to be a lot longer, because I'm going to be able to say the things that he always interrupts.
Right. Well, you're not going to give me a 60-minute video, are you? Do you have any idea how long it's going to take to render?
Your videos are all too long as it is. I'm not going to do that, do you?
I agree. Well, no, I'm not talking about my live stream videos. I'm talking about my uploaded videos.
Well, now it's just good. Yeah. Right, you will upload afterwards, and they're like 3 hours. I've seen ones that are 4 hours.
Those are these types of rooms like we're having now. Right. Yeah.
I was thinking about a format for what you do, and that it's possible you should have 20-minute segments, like daily segments. You had like 50 of them, and all of those were like an hour, 2 hours. The last series.
I know, but you can always scrub forward, so till you see something until something changes, and then you can.
What I'm saying is, you should do 20 minutes, just post those up there, and then each one at the end announce that you're having a live chat, like once a week to address these, so people get a chance to see that during the day and stuff, and then they can schedule themselves to the one call-in that you're going to have that's a more expanded format, and then you can readdress those things, and it just may get more people listening in. It's just these long hours long things are just too much. There's too much to go through.
So let me get this straight. If I go live and I have an open room like this one, I should only have it open for 20 minutes?
No, you do it once a week.
I do that, but I go every day. Sometimes twice a day.
I know, and you got 4 people watching.
Yeah, but I don't. But I'm not doing it for the people watching. I'm doing it for the capture, right?
You do the 20-minute segments that are pre-done. You do those every day. You do one of those, but it's only it's concise, as Darth would say, carefully chosen, concise, and terse. Truncated is what he says.
Well,
question. You do a nice, concise.
It's circumspect and truncated.
That's the one. So do those on 20-minute segments that you put one up every day, and then you do a summation of those as a live chat that people can address it. Instead of that's when people can think about what has been presented over the week, the ones that are tuning in, and then you have one day where you're going to do the live stream, and you might have a lot of more people in the room who want to contribute.
Yeah, okay, but that's going to be a lot of editing, and maybe you're right. Maybe I should take the long ones and edit out chop them into 2 separate chunks, and then just post them up individually.
So how are you selecting your content now? You're just visiting other websites. How do you find these people and their presentations? This is not new stuff. You're catching old files.
No,
right?
this is a playlist that what I did was I found a playlist of the case basically disproving God from Christopher Hitchens and Richard Carrier and Sam Harris and I think there was one or two others I can't remember, but there were lots of little clips. At the end, there were long ones. Richard Carrier was about like 40 minutes, but he made a great case for the no God, reality, really.
So get those, get them. Yeah, maybe there's some editing to do, or some way of choosing smaller modules every day instead of a bunch of long modules. and then have once or maybe twice a week it's going to be an open room to discuss these modules that I've been presenting, and that's where hopefully you'll get more response of people participating.
Okay.
Well, I was just thinking.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good that somebody cares about, who watches my shit if I don't care.
I want to see you succeed, Sidney.
Oh, well, okay. How do you measure success, Bill?
Hits. Isn't there some sort of YouTube
yes.
statistics?
Well, okay. This is the way YouTube wants you to enter the fray. They want you to have 1,000 subscribers. I don't have 1,000 subscribers. They want you to have 4,000 watch hours, 4,000 viewed hours, and I have like 10,000. So what's happening is that people are watching or visiting my channel and popping in for either 1 second or several hours, whatever, and they're not subscribing. So I can't force them to.
I have noticed that when you post, you repost the live streams, that the viewerships tend to go up when I see like 79 views, sometimes over 100 views. Yeah. So, but while the people watching while you're actually doing the live stream is usually 7 to 10 people, and then if I get up here, they all run away anyhow. So
far it's 6.
Yeah, that's about it.
And you know who's in the side chat? Oh, you might want to stay for this. I have a friend called Tom Prophet.
Phantom Prophet.
He goes by the avatar of Phantom Prophet, but we call him Tom Prophet.
Yeah.
Now he's the Christian that is going to convince you about God, because he's a very, very articulate man. So come on in, Tom. Come on in.
Darth already did that. I haven't told you yet.
Darth did what?
He convinced me that God is real.
Darth, finally, he found some sucker.
Oh, just kidding. But if I can get in there to talk to him by making him think that I think that, maybe I can get my foot back in the door. Maybe he'll let me in. I just want to have breakfast with Darth.
That would be, and it must be televised by CNN or some other viewership. Oh no, they don't have many viewers. Who has the most viewership these days on mainstream media?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I never watch it.
I don't really know how many people are actually in that clubhouse room of his. He doesn't have big numbers like Discord.
He seems to be. Is he in his own clubhouse, or does he go to others all the time?
He's got a whole strip of things under his profile of things he's members of. I've just got it so worldviews in conflict or something, and that's the only club I joined in. That's the only thing that shows.
That's what shows up. I think in Tom Rabbit's.
Yeah. But the only way I get to him is if Clubhouse feeds me a notification that's opening up, and then if I click on it, it has a join button, and I can go in. But when he kicks me, I stop getting notifications of his next events. So I just I figure I'm kicked out, and then all of a sudden a notification pops up when I just go by checking, and that's how I can get back in again. But when I'm in there, it doesn't seem like he's got huge rooms full of people.
No, he doesn't. And you've seen, if you're watching those people who put up his stuff, who are following him, he actually gets to a point where he says, "Okay, any atheists want to come up and explain to me your atheism or your denial of God or blah 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 whatever." And there was one specifically where nobody came up. Nobody was interested. Like, he's so irrelevant. He's just such a lol's cow sometimes.
Well, he was in the catbird seat on Discord. He had everything the way he wanted it. He had those mods sucking his kneecaps, and he could not. His demeanor he could not maintain his demeanor, and it all came crashing down.
His narcissism beat him. Basically, was his own enemy. His worst enemy. So this guy Tom Prophet, he says, okay, listen to this. All gods are imaginary, Tom. Prove me wrong. Now you come forward with your but there's a possibility of God, and I'm telling you there is no possibility of God. So come on in and give me the. It's up in the top of the chat, dude. Give me the link.
He's asking about the Big Bang and science formulas.
I want to hear him. It's in the top. Yeah, there you go.
And if that's not what God is, sir, tell us what he is.
He's coming in.
Okay.
I think he's coming in. It'll be good to say hello to him again. I probably haven't spoken to him for several years.
I had a pleasant conversation with the Freak the other day. That was on. They came in.
Yeah, he's easy to talk to. He's cool. Yeah.
He said I had a beautiful mind.
Oh, I think so too, Bill. You do. You have a very good mind. You're very good with your English.
But isn't it true that whatever you think in your mind, the thoughts in your mind,
yes,
from my point of view, are things unseen? You know, and they're talking about Romans, or they're talking about faith.
Absolutely.
Things unseen. My thoughts are things Phantom is here. Things unseen. And the only way that it can be revealed is if I fire my muscle tissues. So it's a completely physical act, this communication.
Mm-hmm.
But to describe, so Darth asked me, how did you determine that? When I said I thought about it, what were the contents of those thoughts? Well, Darth, have a little faith. It's things unseen.
Oh, in fact, you can probably once he figures out the microphone and the.
It's not easy, man. Hi, is my video mirror image for you guys, whatever that means.
You're actually sharing my screen with us. Thank you.
Right.
And you're muted.
It's appearing mirror image for me on my camera. Yeah, how do you do that? It's got to be in settings. Let's see.
You're right, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, here you go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Is my camera appearing mirror image for you?
I don't see your camera. I see the video screen that everybody else is watching.
Oh, right. Oh, it doesn't matter then. Yeah.
You can just switch your camera. You can switch your camera off if you like. Then we won't see.
Yeah, but we can. When you did that, we could see the side chats comments.
That's what I was thinking. It's kind of good for the side chat to know they're.
Yeah, they can jump in. That's a good idea.
Yeah, they're part of the show, aren't they?
Well, the side chats. You can see. I don't mind if you like, but the side chats, everybody can see who's in the side chat.
Yeah.
Whatever you like.
I will say, I'm in the UK and it's 20 to 5 in the morning.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Get your coffee.
Bear with me if I don't last the duration.
Well, you haven't been up all night, have you?
I have, Sid. You know me.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, Sidney knows me well. I mean, me and Sid have, I'd say, locked horns, but it's been amicable. Sidney, this is why I like Sidney. You can have a debate with him. You can disagree with him. And it doesn't get personal.
I don't want to get Sidney started, but the last guy I met through Sidney like that was James Henry.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get started.
That's okay. I have made plenty mistakes, but it's never as big as James Henry, though.
I'm not familiar with that guy. So.
Oh, he's a guy that came on and ostensibly was, my buddy atheist, and then he turns into a fucking raging psychopath. Anti fucking Sidney. Winston.
Yeah, some people get triggered easy, don't they?
Yeah, consider yourself fortunate, Mr. Prophet.
But no, I'm more. I've not got an axe to grind or a point to prove or anyone to beat down. I've just got I've got my own beliefs that I've came to, and I've found it really hard to find anyone that can sort of. I wouldn't say prove me wrong, because there's nothing to prove, because I'm not that certain.
Well, you work on
but
faith.
It's a theory that we all came from somewhere. To me, also, I mean, we can argue about. I mean, I am a evolutionist.
How do you reconcile
So
evolution with
if
creation?
hold on, Sid, you know my position. If I can explain it to Bill, so he can sort of
Go
get
right ahead.
a broad grip of what I believe in. So I think between atheists and theists and stuff, it always goes back to the Big Bang. What was there before the Big Bang? Now, for me, the fundamental thing is we live in this universe. This is what I need to take. I think they call it a fundamental belief or basic. There's a word for it where I can only take what I can taste, touch, feel with my senses, etc. That right, I exist in this world. Now we take it from where we are now, and we go back step by step by step. Where did I come from? My mother. Where did she come from? Her mother. Blah blah blah. And eventually we end up back at the Big Bang. Now neither science nor theism can determine with any degree of certainty what there was before the Big Bang. Now, to me, if there was, I'll grant you this, if it's a big if there was a God that created the Big Bang, then if we live in this realm of time and space and energy and all the matter that's in this world, for God to have created this Big Bang and this universe, it must have come from outside of this time space realm. Do you see what I'm saying? So if there's a God, it'd be a little bit like, I mean, this is a very poor analogy, but it would be like me setting up a fish bowl. I create the glass bowl. I put the gravel in the bottom. I fill it with water. I put the fish in it. I do the. Now the fish, we're the fish in this analogy. The fish can only analyze what's in that bowl. They can't analyze what's in the rest of my me being God that set up the bowl. They can't analyze the rest of my living room. You know what I mean? They wouldn't see the computers. They wouldn't be aware of all this other stuff that's going on. Now, obviously, on this level of God, that we're talking matter that we don't even know exists, and a time that's kind of interlinked but came before us, because that fish bowl didn't exist till I created it. I made the glass bowl. I'd say there's a slight misunderstanding in the words there, but I don't want to get pedantic and stuff. But
well, that's the problem. Is when I talk to people.
I see what you're meaning with those words, but I wouldn't use those words.
That's what's unfortunate about trying to get the concepts across, is people find it to be either pedantic or trivial, or or semantic or whatever. But I think it's a very important, nuanced idea between reality as a sentient construct and actuality as the objective fundament of existence.
But I think you'd go the opposite way. I think as an atheist, you'd be more concentrated on the actual agent rather than sentience. You'd be putting you see, in that description, you're putting the sentience as a key part of things happening, and the actuation comes from the sentience.
Things happening is a sentient construct.
You're kind of proving my point there. That's what I'm saying.
No, it's a description.
Sentient. Right.
Water
let
boiling.
Me explain what I understand as sentience. I don't mean to be fighting with you or anything, or arguing with you, but my understanding of sentience is that comes from a mind of some description. Let's put that out as a big unknown variable. A mind,
human mind,
that is choosing that action. That is sentience. Sentience can choose between one action or another. An action like rain can't choose. A droplet of water that reaches the right temperature can't choose whether to condensate or not. It will do what it is going to do. That's an act, as right. In act.
But we choose how to describe it. We choose.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, we choose the wordage. Yeah, but that molecule of H2O can't decide whether it wants to condensate today and evaporate and go into a cloud and then come back as rain. That rain droplet has no sentience.
Right. Rain actuality, things that occur are not sentient. Right, that's because it's the fundament. Sentience is the fundament. There are objects in the universe that are not sentient that exist.
Yeah.
Rocks and stuff, and
this is where I'd agree with you. I think we're tickling on the bit of the creation that I think a lot of atheists struggle with understanding why theists can leapfrog this. Because say if there was a God and it brought in the Big Bang and it made the gas, the space, the time and everything that then eventually over millennia turned into planets and then algae, and then as we understand it through evolution, it quick come to fish, and then the fish climbed onto the ocean, the fish learned to climb trees that became monkeys and became us, blah blah blah. I know I've over simplified that a lot, but there's a massive period there of non-sentience, total non-sentience. I appreciate that, and that was one of the things that got me in my understanding of it, because I've got no axe to bear. I'm not trying to prove a point for no reason. It's just this is my personal analysis of the universe and where I live, and it's my conclusion that I'm trying to explain.
Right.
So
are you trying to describe? Explaining is describing. Are you trying to describe a pre-existent mind that creates and sustains all that occurs?
I wouldn't call it a mind. To give you the long shot, my conclusion was I called my God, the thing I think created us all is called Deuce, D-U-C-E.
Deuce.
A divine, D-U-C-E. Divine, divine, universal, creational.
Duce!
Yeah. It's a divine.
So is your Deuce a fascist?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Well, you said divine. What was it? Divine.
Yeah, let me say it so the people can hear it.
Yeah. Four.
D-U-C-E. D-U-C.
Yeah. What is that?
Universal, creational entity. So
divine. Hold on. Let me get this right.
Undescriptive.
Divine, universal,
but it's a noble
creative entity. Divine, universal, creational entity. Okay, so you're presuming that there's such a thing, right?
No, I'm not presuming. No, that's a conclusion, not a preclusion. That's not a presumption.
He's trying to describe where his thinking best takes him, the best way he can describe what's going on. Because that's what we do. You can't say a word that's not, utter a word that's not describing something.
I mean, let's be honest.
Exactly.
Have you noticed, sorry, but just something in my exploring all this divine theism and atheism and stuff.
Yeah.
There's one word in the English language that divides people. All the other words, if I say black, what colour do you think of? If I say blue, what colour do you think of? If I say red, if I say hot, if I say cold, if I say up, if I say down, all these words have a unifying factor. We all come together. I can say black, and I'm pretty confident 99.9% of the people who hear me say the word black are going to think of the same colour. If I say up, 99.9% of people are going to know he means up.
So common sense. So you're saying common sense, right?
Hold on.
It's poetry. It's Phantom's poetry. Let him finish.
Thank you. Oh, he gets it. Oh, brother Phil gets it. But there's one word that divides us more than any. I can say the word God, and every single person will think of something different.
Because it's imaginary. That's why.
Hold on, Sid, but hold on.
Okay, all right.
The God you don't believe in is probably a God I wouldn't believe in either. And this is where all these cross swords start happening, because when someone says, I believe in God, you're thinking, well, I don't. But the God you don't believe in isn't the same version of the God that I do, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't have a clue what you're saying.
The descriptors that we use break down. Just like those natural laws, when you approach the singularity, they break down.
God is one of the most useless words in the English dictionary because it doesn't unify anyone to thinking about the same thing.
Tom.
I think that's why I went with the creational entity bit rather than God.
So you will state that God does not exist?
No. I'd say we have to, before we can determine whether something exists or not, we have to have a hard and fast description of what that is we're defining. And I don't think there is a hard and fast. You get to the Hindus, you get to the Christians, you get to the Muslims, you're going to get a different version of what God is. So it's almost impossible to decide whether God does exist or not. And that's why I broke away from it. And I said, look, all of these religions can't be right, can they? Not all.
They can all be wrong, though. They can all be wrong.
Like you said, where did I begin? Right, I've got to go from my datum line. All I can know for sure is I'm here. I seem to be alive. So where are we going?
I'm not so sure. I need you to get
Hello. How's it going?
Hello, Wesley.
Happy Thanksgiving, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, is it Thanksgiving in America?
Yes, it's the day that we celebrate and overlook the fact that we destroyed, diseased, and stole the lands of millions of relatively happy Indians who were living in peace and harmony with nature.
They did attack the Pilgrims the next year.
Yeah.
Is this a bad day to be British?
Welcome, Wesley.
I think I prefer to be Scottish than British. I have a thing.
I'm half Scottish.
I have a thing for cold, rainy days in dank brick houses with books. I just something about that.
Wearing a tartan dress, blowing the bagpipes.
No one can truly be Scottish.
Mary Queen of Scots got a raw deal. Let's just put it to you that way.
Yeah. Oh, you're not wrong there.
How are things there?
Cold and getting colder.
Yeah. Well, you gentlemen,
you've been quite mild for the last couple of days. It's just gone. Frost's on everything now. Winter's proper settling now.
Well, I'm often called a troll, and I believe it's just because people don't want to listen.
I've seen your work.
Well, today you should be receiving. You know, I said to Jesus, I'm an evil man. I'm not good. I had the vision, and I told the vision, and I explained what the vision meant. And I said, Jesus, would you send every person on earth the 5th time today fish and bread? And know that the angels actually caught the fish in heaven, chopped their heads off, and filleted them before they baked them. And so there should be a presentation to you today.
Yes, that was you. That was you, Wesley.
I asked for. I didn't.
Oh my goodness!
Billion served. I couldn't flip that many McDonald's.
But I'm going to tell you something. The bread was delicious.
I hope so.
It tasted like it was made with love.
Well, I can only ponder to guess, and I would suppose
I tasted Jesus when I ate my bread.
Well, I'm guessing it's one of your ancestors that made it rain in Nostradamus' time, frogs and fish.
Well, there was only one simple table manner required to eat it, is you say thank you, Jesus. You did not have.
I said thank you, Jesus, for this delicious bread which tastes like Jesus.
Lewis Black was describing this wonderful drink that he had. It was alcoholic beverage, and it had mezcal in it. It was so good, it tasted like God had peed in my mouth.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny.
What's your favorite liquor, Bill?
My tongue.
So I don't drink. I haven't drank for years. The last time I drank, I had broken up with a girl, and I drank a thing of Two Fingers Gold tequila. I chugged it down. That was the last time I drank, and that was decades ago.
Yeah, I'm like that. I'm stupid enough already. Just, add beer.
Beer's fine, yeah. I like beer.
I like 1 or 2 Guinnesses a year, but I'm dumb enough as it is. I get a beer in me, and it's stupid incarnate, like within 10 minutes, and then I fall asleep. So
I had a friend who had a job doing promotion for Guinness. He was going around the world as an act, and he was a circus sideshow, freak show, and he would take people from the audience and put a big apple in their mouth, and he'd take a chainsaw, and he would carve a G into it for Guinness. It was sponsored by Guinness. So
with a chainsaw.
With a chainsaw. That's how. Yeah, they used to juggle chainsaws and do all sorts.
I watched that. I remember watching that. I remember watching a guy in the 80s who used to juggle chainsaws on like Johnny Carson.
Right, there's that. I'm referring to the Jim Rose Circus Sideshow. He made it big with Lollapalooza and thereafter doing a lot of touring. But he had a whole bunch of different acts. But that was one of the things he did. That's the only way I'm familiar with Guinness.
Well, here's the only other real big news that I have from the other side. And the other side may be the dark side for all I know. For I am not given, my eyes are scaled that I cannot see the angels. And whatever voices are speaking around me tend to be invisible voices of movie stars, and they're very pushy.
I see what's going on. Yeah, we got 2 poets in the room.
I am diagnosed as a schizophrenic, and I do hear voices, and they don't tell me to kill myself. They tell me television, and it's like the voice of Paul.
You like the modern day Jesus. You're the modern day messenger of the Father.
Well, here's what's been revealed to me from the other side.
Pray tell.
There's going to be a really terrible thing put upon mankind, and they're going to be tempted in a way that will be almost impossible for them to not take the temptation.
Well, they've already got Islam on us, so what could be worse than that?
Good night, Bill.
Good night, Bill.
The temptation is $32,000 in cryptocurrency to take the Omnibar. Everybody will be offered cryptocurrency, counterfeit money. You can't redeem it for cash. It's cryptocurrency, electronic money only. Just about $32,000. And you take it, and for every one of your children in your house, your little boys and girls that you get tattooed on their face with a barcode, you get $32,000. And
that's crazy.
Barcode is
tattoo?
Is the 6 scores. Yeah, well, laser print tattoo. Faithful branding.
And how do I?
Will be the smell.
How do I spend my 30?
There will be the smell of burning flesh.
How do I spend my $32,000?
I would love to have $32,000. No doubt.
No, how do I spend mine? How do I get hold of it?
Well, without the Omnibar, the tattoo, you cannot enter.
Assuming, yeah, but I see. So the Omnibar is tattooed, and then the scanner at the store scans my Omnibar.
Right, it'll be on your right hand wrist.
No, I want my Omnibar on my penis. I want my Omnibar tattooed right along my penis.
There you go, Walmart. Scan this.
There you go. So
I can only suppose you'll be able to buy anything with it. In any store, whatever is available in the stores, you'll be able to buy it with that.
I'll only use it in adult stores.
You will have a bank account with each of the bars have their own individual sets of numbers.
How many bars? What are you talking about in each of the bars?
Like a UPC bar code on the product that you see now.
On my body.
It'll be laser printed onto the flesh.
But
It'll be the smell of
yeah,
flesh.
but just one, right?
I guess so. One per person. Yeah.
Oh,
I believe I'll be able to ask Jesus to heal a person that'll be removed, but I'm also going to guess that those people that I am given by Jesus to remove it from will go back and get another one.
So, Tom, are you listening to Wesley? Tom, you're muted.
I think Tom considers me to be a troll, as all do. I'm very hated, so
Well,
I understand that,
you might,
especially given my illness.
you might actually not be a troll in that you actually mean well, and maybe you really do have a conviction about what you say.
Well, I don't want you to get it. You can get free fish and bread, you tell the vision, and if you do get the Omnibar, you shall get a disease, a skin disease.
I'm not saying that you don't have the vision. What I'm saying is it's your vision.
Right. Nobody wants to tell it. I get it. It took me 18 years to figure that out. I plowed away at that no matter what, but nobody wants to tell it. Everybody says I'm crazy. I hear 20, 50 people every day, no matter where I go, behind my back saying, tell the vision.
Okay, Wesley.
And then I do, and then they go, I don't know what you're talking about.
Wesley.
You crazy?
Wesley. I'm proposing this. All gods are imaginary, Wesley. Prove me wrong.
You ever had a relationship with a woman and had a child?
No, prove me wrong. All gods are imaginary, Wesley. That's my claim. Now prove me wrong.
I shall not and I cannot prove you wrong.
So all gods are imaginary. You can't prove me wrong.
If I were really, really of pure heart, I would say I cannot speak ill against you.
Yeah, and that corroborates your understanding or your communications with your God and trying to share them with us.
Hold on, Sid. Can you prove all gods are imaginary?
No, I didn't ask you that. I said all gods are imaginary because I've never seen any, and I've never seen any evidence of any. So prove me wrong. All gods are imaginary. That's the statement. Prove me wrong.
Right. If I may be wrong, but I can put.
No, then you can't. Then you can't. No, hold on. One thing at a time. Sure, okay, but one thing at a time. You just said, okay, I said all gods are imaginary. Prove me wrong, and you said you can't prove me wrong. Am I correct?
You can't prove yourself right.
No. I don't have to.
Right, we need to analyse what the word proof means. Proof means to irrevocably prove something.
Okay, well, prove me wrong. There you go.
It cannot be denied. No, I can't prove.
You're wrong. There you go. Because that's the topic of this particular hangout today.
Well, are we going to play around? Well, the simple answer is no. And end the stream now.
No, but maybe
play around with the idea. Then let me progress.
Okay, hold on. If you can prove me wrong, perhaps Wesley can. Wesley, can you prove me wrong? All gods are imaginary. Prove me wrong. I'm not asking you. I'm asking Wesley.
Would you give me 2 or 3 minutes to speak uninterrupted?
As long.
No, we won't.
Hold on. As long as you answer, as long as you are attempting to prove me wrong that all gods are imaginary, as I assert.
Let me speak uninterrupted for 3 minutes, and I will give you what I consider to be true.
No. I don't want your consideration. I am telling you that all gods are imaginary. because
Sydney,
because
come on,
from
play the game. You've laid the question out there. Play the game. You knew this game.
I
Just
don't want to
let the man have
hear
his 3
I don't want to hear
minutes.
preaching. I want to
No,
hear.
I'm interested. I want to hear his 3 minutes. I'm sure the audience do. Too.
All right.
And
Okay.
give him his 3 minutes,
It's
and let's see where it goes.
Wesley, it's unanimous. You get your 3 minutes.
And then I want 3 minutes after, please.
Sure. Everybody, go ahead.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
start your clock. Jesus, please quickly send 2 angels to every person listening to this show. They speak there what I speak here. I did see the dream from Jesus. A foot did not bleed that was cut off. It means I don't believe in Jesus' forgiveness. I fail him when I do not forgive you of any and all manner of sin. And I saw 2 creatures, one cutting off the foot and the other smiling. Oh, and Jesus also clean the hedge that the rain can fall into them as I speak. The 2 creatures mean I fail you when I am double-tongued, double-hearted, and double-minded. And that's the 2 creatures. The square pit means I fail you when I don't read the Bible every day. Jesus, please, in this next few minutes, give everybody the fish and bread that I asked to be presented to them today. And now that I'm not telling the vision, please shut their hedges on their head that peace may not enter their souls. Okay, done.
Thank you very much. Tom, go ahead.
Right, man. Now, as I've said, mine isn't proof, but it's just a
and Jesus,
a thinking.
please give them immunity from corona. Amen.
Tom, go ahead.
Right. Now, mine is not proof, they're imaginary.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just do your thing.
No, but this is part of my explanation. Just let me speak.
You got 3 minutes.
Right. Let's take a car production line as an analogy, right? We're the finished product. We're not finished. We're constantly evolving. But we know the car exists. We're living in it. This is the universe. The car is the universe and everything within it. Evolution tells us that there's a method of production. This universe came about through a series of processes. And scientifically and mathematically, we know a lot of these processes are beyond happen chance. They're like for the interaction of all these chemicals and molecules and stuff to eventually go from the Big Bang to where we are now. The chances of that happening just by accident are less than 0. Right? There's something at work that's made these things happen. Hold on, I thought I've got 3 minutes uninterrupted. Can we mute Wesley? I'm getting a lot of feedback, a lot of noise, static. So we've got the final car. We know the car exists. We know the universe exists. We know you exist. We know I exist. And we know, scientifically speaking, there's no need for religion at this point or theism. We know through evolution that a lot of these things that have happened to bring life onto the universe didn't happen. Well, didn't happen by chance. Maybe they did happen by chance, but the probability, the mathematical probability of them happening by chance is really, 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 really low. I mean, the chance of life coming from non-life, fundamentally, even though it was algae to begin with, is a mathematical. I mean, science can't explain it. How did non-life become life? That's the big. You need to put in your thinking. You need to put a big dot there as to how did that happen. How did we go from non-life to life? Yeah. Now, hold on.
Oh, you have more? Oh, okay.
Hold on. No.
Well, that was your 3 minutes. But how much more time do you need?
I got interrupted a minute and
All right.
laugh into it. And
All right, I'm giving you another 2 minutes. Go ahead.
right. So we know the production line exists. The production line, in my analogy, is evolution. So we know evolution exists. Now, when we look at a car, we can look at the car and say, oh, it just happened by chance, or there was no design. Can we look at a car and say there's no designer? There's no, oh, this didn't happen with reason or purpose? I don't think we can. Can you mute Wesley? It is a little.
I can hear you.
Can we mute Wesley?
I'm here.
Yeah, can you mute up, bud? I'm talking, and I can hear your tires on the road.
I'm in a tent. There's about a 20-foot wind storm.
Yeah.
Where I'm camped
That's
next
why,
to the river.
Yeah,
that's
so
why the mute button's there.
can you? Hey Wesley, well,
I'll mute.
we can hear your we can hear the traffic on the bridge and stuff. Go ahead, Tom.
So we know the car exists. We know there's a production line. We are the car. We are the universe. We know the production line exists. That's the evolution. That's how we got made. Now, if we go back to it, right, you could come across a car production line if the designers aren't there or the manufacturers of the production line aren't there. Where's your thinking go? What was this production line just meant to be there? Did it just happen to be there by accident? You know, and to me, that's like evolution. Was are all the atheists saying that all these millions of things that happened to result in us being here were not just one or two, millions of events that defy science, defy logic of today, like life from non-life for a start. If you start with 0, at what point do you get 0.00001? You know, there's nothing. I mean, this is where quantum physics is often used as an excuse by atheists as, oh, it was quantum physics. But when they say nothing in quantum physics, they've redefined what nothing means. And what they mean by nothing nowadays is, oh, well, it's something, but out of this realm.
Well, can we...
What was I saying? Hold on. Now, what was I saying earlier about God being outside this realm? Because if you're making the fishbowl and filling it with water and filling it with fish and rocks and stuff, you're outside of the fishbowl.
Yeah.
So scientists within the fishbowl...
I got questions.
Scientists within the fishbowl have realised there's this thing called quantum mechanics, and it can interact within the fishbowl, but it's not of the laws of science, physics, chemistry, biology of within the fishbowl. So we've got these laws of science, physics, and chemistry that apply within the fishbowl, but they know, they're accepting, they're agreeing there is this thing called quantum mechanics, that can interact with our fishbowl, but it doesn't apply by any of the scientific laws of the fishbowl. Well, that, to me, proves the theory I'm trying to portray, that if there's a creator, it's outside the fishbowl. It can interact with the fishbowl if it chooses. So that's sentience. Anywhere where there's choice, that comes from sentience. That's not a chemical reaction. That's not it happens because it must. It's not like the water analogy I was using earlier, where it evaporates because it must, because it's reached the temperature where it must evaporate. There's no choice in the matter, but there's choice in whether this thing interacts with the fishbowl. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, hold on, quickly bringing it back to the imagination. Now, the car production line, now I know it's a leap of faith. Let's see.
How much more time do you actually need?
Right, not very long. I'm nearly there. Right, we know the car production line was designed, right? Now, in my analogy, I grant you, we don't know that this was designed. But let's assume it was. If we are the product of that production line and we can imagine stuff and we can manipulate our environment to make stuff we imagine come into reality. Now, to put that simply, I can imagine painting a picture, right? That picture don't exist.
Now you're going to a
Hold
picture
on,
from
hold
a
on,
card to a
let me
picture?
finish.
Come
Yeah,
on.
You know this is a killer argument. This is why you're trying to cut me off. I can imagine a picture, right? That picture doesn't exist, but I've imagined it. I can now manipulate the environment and the materials at my arms. I can make a paintbrush, I can make some paint, I can make a canvas, and I can bring into reality what was in my imagination. Now, if I can do that as a mortal human being that used to shit himself as a fucking infant, he gets intoxicated, he makes all the mistakes I've made in my life, I'm totally fallible, and yet I can still bring into reality things from my imagination. I can imagine creating all sort of kitchen,
Of course. Well, you have a mind. You have a vehicle.
This is where it's come into your imagination thing.
Well, you have an imagination, right?
No, but all gods are imaginary.
Correct. Yes.
It may be that they are, but that does not.
If it may be that they are, then there's
Please let me finish. Please let me finish. Right?
Yes.
Now, it might be that all gods are imaginary, and it might be some sort of weird, what came first, the chicken or the egg thing, where there was a god that didn't exist, that created the Big Bang to create us, to create our imagination so that we would create a god. So God has somehow self-manifested itself through the creation of the universe and the evolution of humans to create itself. Maybe God is the blank canvas, and God could be whatever we want it to be. But in my understanding, that's
imagination. That's imaginary.
Yeah.
So gods are imaginary. So you proved.
But I think what
you have not improved me wrong. You've actually endorsed my statement. You endorsed my statement.
But what I'm saying, Sid, is God might be imaginary, but does that mean it isn't real?
Yeah, but God does not exist. So God is imaginary.
No,
there's no might anyway.
Statement.
God is imaginary.
That's a different statement.
My claim is that God is imaginary. You are coming with your buts and mights and maybes.
But you're saying he's imaginary. I'm saying he might be imaginary, but he could still be real. I'm saying he.
How could it be? How can it be both be imaginary and real? As you know, the laws of identity do not support that notion. It can't both be imaginary and real at the same time.
So I can't imagine a picture and then paint it.
I'm talking about God.
So it can't be.
I'm talking about God.
Yeah, and but you're not grasping.
Okay. All right. Let me get on the same page.
Hold on. You've asked me a question. This is Sid. You've asked me a question. Please let me answer. Right. So it can't be imaginary and real. Yes, it can be imaginary. And real. Because what begins in the imagination can be brought into reality.
So there's right. So they're not at the same time. I said they can't be both imaginary and reality at the same time.
That's being semantic. What you're
and no, stop. Okay, no. All right. Now I've given you lots of time to talk.
Hold on, no.
I've given you lots of time to talk with hardly interrupting. I have given you lots of time to talk with hardly interrupting you. So now I would like the same respect back in return. How's that?
Okay.
Hello, Iron.
But remind me.
Hello, Iron.
You're right, Iron. Sydney, remind me when you've done. I have thought of something that can be imaginary and real at the same time.
Well, go. Tell me quickly.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yeah, we hear you good. Thanks, Iron.
You're right,
welcome.
Yes.
What's happening?
Right, just a quickie. I'm imagining it's raining somewhere on the planet. Reality is, it is raining somewhere on the planet right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Fish and bread, 12 billion served.
Hold on a sec. I have something to say about you and your. I don't disagree with you, by the way, in what you say, but I want to tell you about your imagination. Your imagination cannot exist without your brain, your living brain. Is that correct? Would you agree with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so your imagination is dependent on your living brain, which is dependent.
This is where we get into it. There can't be a God without.
Exactly. So we're getting into some.
But that's.
You're getting.
Can you guys hear me now?
Has a computer got a physical biological?
You're
brain?
interrupting me, Tom, and yes, we can hear you, Iron. You're interrupting me, Tom. I'm saying to you. You have to let me finish before you talk, okay? It's the way it's going to work here. It can only work that way. So you have to have a physical brain in order to have the mind, so you can have your imaginations. Okay, so we understand that. All right, so let's say.
No. Hold on. AI, no physical biological brain involved, and yet it can think.
AI doesn't exist at this point. Does it?
Okay, we'll let that hang.
Okay, so
you might want to tell Elon Musk about that.
So Phantom, where do you think? How do you think neurons develop? What do you think neurons?
Iron. Hold on. I'm on a bit of a thought train here, and I'm trying to get to the end of it. Yeah, you can have your say as soon as I've finished what I was saying. As soon as when you joined. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so this imagination that Tommy's talking about, let's take away the universe. Let's take away everything that exists and just concentrate on that mind that you say is the creational virtuality or something. Let's.
I never.
I'm asking you not to interrupt me. I'm asking you not to interrupt me.
Man, I've got to cut you. I'm not going to let you go on for 10 minutes.
I'm not going to go on for 10 minutes. I'm just going to put forward, just like what you did.
There's a mind that existed.
You said cure or something, right?
Definitely not a biological mind.
You said creation. You said
creational entity.
Yeah.
Which implies sentience.
Which implies a mind.
Without a mind, though.
Okay, so
in the realm outside the fishbowl.
Every single person that I've ever spoken to about God claims to me that God is an immaterial mind with no, because it's everywhere. Are you not of that opinion? All of a sudden,
I don't know what it is. All I'm saying is, I believe that before the Big Bang, there was no time, matter, space, or anything.
Well, you're wrong about the matter. You're wrong about the matter. You're wrong about the matter. Hold on. You're wrong. You are wrong about. You are wrong. I don't care what. You cannot believe that there was no matter.
You guys are over talking each other, man.
You cannot believe that there was no matter before the Big Bang, because we all know that there was.
I'm saying, if you were listening to what I was saying that if we are in this universe of time and space and everything, and matter, then whatever came before the Big Bang was of a different type.
Nonsense.
Well, you can say
no, Sidney. No, Sidney.
It was. Hold on. Let me say.
What is this different kind of matter? What is this different kind of matter?
This energy was there. The space and time might have started.
Sidney, if I went back to the
excuse me.
That radiation exists. And yet we've learned, just because there isn't a machine to measure something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And this is what I was trying to explain with quantum physics, quantum mechanics. is we're now learning there are things that can interact with this universe that don't conform to our known sciences. We can't measure them.
Why are you bringing up quantum mechanics?
Just because on the broad spectrum it proves there is something
that is irrelevant.
Hold on. You've asked a question. On the broad spectrum, there's something that can interact with this universe
but I'm sorry,
that doesn't conform. Hold on, please. That doesn't conform with the current knowledge of physics, chemistry, or biology.
Yeah, but now you're appealing. Now you're
scientific. Hold on.
Hey, you guys, stop it one at a time. I will just mute. I will mute.
Scientifically accept.
I will mute everybody if we all going to overtalk each other. Then
no, but he's asking. Please, you're asking a question and you won't let me finish. Just that, please. I'm not trying to win a fight here. I've got no dog in the fight.
Yeah, but if you start talking and you're starting to not make sense,
I'm not trying to prove a point. I'm just giving you my conclusion.
We are not interested about at this point. At this point, I asked you to prove me wrong, and you haven't proved me wrong. So what are you going on about?
Hey, can I ask you a question, Phantom?
Go ahead.
Ask Sidney.
No,
I want to ask you. I want to ask you a question. Why do you appeal to quantum mechanics? Why do you appeal to that?
The reason I appeal to quantum mechanics is because quantum mechanics proves that there are things that we still can't measure. We still don't know how they interact with our universe, but we know they're there. We know these things are there, and they are interacting with our universe. But just because we can't measure them, quantify them, measure the temperature or whatever, our machinery, our science at the minute is not up to the job of quantifying these things.
Okay, are you expert?
Hold on. That's only.
Let me ask.
He goes on and on and on and on. He just doesn't stop.
Well, sorry, Sidney. Sometimes the answer isn't as
be a little
concise as you want it to be.
But Phantom,
right,
when you
so
answer, when you answer a question,
please, I'm really nearly finished.
You're not nearly finished. You talk for fucking 15 minutes. We gave you 3 minutes, and you talk for 15.
The answer. Well, that proves that there could be an outside realm that is interacting with our realm. That's my bullshit.
But that's not true.
How do you know that's not true?
That's not true.
That's a statement.
That's not what quantum physicists.
So where's the basis for that statement? No.
That's not what quantum physicists say.
Quantum mechanics says that there could be multiple parallel universes all interacting at the same time, possibly.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it does.
No, it's saying that you might have a spooky action at a distance where one electron.
You know about the light slot, where one particle of light went through two slots.
I know the double slit experiment. Don't go with
Wait. I'd rather you not interrupt each other. Seriously, I'd rather you have it.
I really don't want to go. I really don't want to go into the quantum.
No,
wait, guys. I'm gonna have to. I actually gonna have to put my moderator.
I'm sorry, my answer doesn't conform with your
I've got to put my moderator's hat here. Okay. It's not about your answers and conforming. It's nothing to do with that. It's that. No one in the chat or watching can make fucking sense of anything if all three of us are talking at the same time. If more than two people are talking at the same time. So I really would prefer non-interrupting. However, you got 60 seconds of uninterrupted, and at 60 seconds, I'm going to buzz it. I'm going to actually maybe put a timer up there because we can't go on like that. You can't go on and run off and say, oh, one more thing, one more thing. I'm sorry, that's not going to work. So please, I'm going to find a timer. Carry on, but I'm going to find a timer.
Yeah, I'll take 60 seconds. Tell me when.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, me first?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Jesus, open their heads, all in watching this show, please. I don't get involved like I should. So I saw palm trees from Jesus. The bottom leaves had orange red in the middle of the dark green leaves. And I've got a branchless faith. My faith in Jesus doesn't really branch out as it should. So I fail you that way. So he showed me the straight trees without any branches. Jesus, would you give these guys, all watching this show, Truly. Keep them immune from coronavirus and all variations. Thank you.
All right, next.
Now, Iron, if you want to go, I think.
I think Iron was talking and before he got interrupted, so it's his.
Yeah.
You Iron, you're still muted. I muted everybody, so you need to unmute. Iron, you need to unmute.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, Phantom, you brought up quantum mechanics, right? Now, we agree that you are not a quantum physicist, right? You don't know if you... There's a famous saying that if you think you know how quantum mechanics works, you probably
You don't understand it, yeah.
You don't understand it, right? So how can you make that claim? Like, no, let me finish. Let me finish, okay? But you're saying that quantum mechanics, it has some kind of explanation or has some kind of root, some kind of position when it comes to the explanation of a supernatural being, right? We know how some of the functions of quantum mechanics works. You have quantum entanglement, you have quantum tunneling, and there's something else that goes through. Quantum entanglement is really weird. This is the things that have been discovered by scientists, right? Scientists. This is the Bible doesn't say anything about quantum entanglement or quantum tunneling, right?
Why not?
I might say something about quantum tunneling because Jesus went through walls, right? That's fine, but the Bible does not explain quantum entanglement. That's what I'm saying. So instead of arguing from quantum mechanics, you should actually focus on your theology. What does your theology say? Because as soon as you switch from theology to science, that's almost a fallacy.
Well, I say that sadly, the only thing mankind is going to use their quantum explorations in science to produce will be the end of them, and that will be nuclear bombs. The way of man is only going to end up making nuclear bombs and destroying themselves with it. Not that those knowledges can't be used for good, that mankind is not going to do so.
Wesley, quite. What I'm saying is that Phantom is trying to use the secular worldview, right, to actually to try to explain his worldview. So we know that not only Christian scientists invented quantum mechanics. It's a secular invention. It's not a Christian invention or a religious invention. So how do you respond to that?
Most people are going to take 32,000 cryptocurrency dollars to get a brand on their flesh called an Omnibar. And they're going to get a skin disease. And
Sidney,
they're going to die.
Can you have
they're
Phantom?
Going to all, they are all going.
Yeah.
They are all going to be dead on the same day,
Wesley,
and it'll be the day I turn Mecca to dust.
Wesley, I love you, man, but that's great. I want to hear from Phantom, okay? Is Phantom muted or something?
He's yeah, he needs to unmute if he wants to talk. There you go.
Yeah,
can you talk?
Yeah, you can go.
Yeah, I was just... No, you asked like 5 questions there, right? Now, I'm not asserting quantum mechanics proves anything other than possibilities. And, well, the one thing it does prove is that we haven't got the scientific capability. There is something happening in the universe, quantum mechanics, that we cannot quantify and cannot make. We're aware of it on certain levels and we can observe it in certain ways. But it's almost like a temperature where we can't quite accurately gauge the temperature, or a distance where we don't know how far the distance is. We've not got the machinery and the mechanics or the know-how to specifically pinpoint with accuracy what's going on. Now, all I'm saying is that opens the door to the realm of possibility. Yeah, let me ask you one thing, right? Do you agree that a lot of the quantum mechanics and physics and stuff defies our current understanding of physics, biology, and chemistry? Specifically, mainly physics, isn't it? But it interacts with chemistry and biology. But it's mainly the physics is blowing our mind. Is that a fair statement to make?
Yes. Yes.
What faint amounts of intelligence I have, none of it has any doing with quantum mechanics. I do not know anything about it, so it'd be best for me just to kind of be quiet and listen because I don't know anything about quantum mechanics.
Cool, you'll be able to learn
Sorry.
something.
I only know the basics from what I've heard other people talk about. People wiser than me, but it opens the door to this uncertainty where something seems to be interacting with our known universe. I mean, I'd love to have certainty. I'm a purveyor of something. I think a lot of people, when they know I'm a theist and they talk to me, they're fighting this preconceived idea they have of what a theist is. And
is it my time? Can I respond?
I thought it was my time.
How many minutes?
But I think people are fighting a preconceived idea of what I believe, and I think you're making that mistake. I am pro-science, totally pro-science, totally pro-evolution. I'm not one of these new Earth creationists. I'm anti-religion, believe it or not. Sidney knows that. I'm anti-religion. I've gone through a path of my own exploration where I was like, where did we come from? Why are we here? What are we meant to do? And I've tried to learn from the wisest people I can. And none of them are right, and all of them have something to offer. It's weird. It's like a patchwork quilt of.
I understand, but you're gish galloping right now. Okay, you're gish galloping. Can you?
No, that's an important. People will go through that path. Do you not understand that?
Yeah, but
that is the most natural path for people to go through.
You're rambling on, though.
People will go through that path and they'll latch onto religion. You'll blaspheme. People will go through that path and they'll dismiss.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question, okay? What kinds of things in your life do you know that are certain? Can you hear me?
Who's that? Hold on, who's that? I can hear something in the background. Hold on.
Exactly. Is that Wesley? Can you shut that off? Can you mute yourself?
That's me. Sorry, I had a window open on YouTube.
Okay. Okay. Phantom, can you tell me what things in life are you certain about?
I know I exist at the moment.
No, well, what other things? I know
the government will fuck us over every chance they can. I know I wouldn't trust the vaccine.
No.
Have you had the vaccine?
No, I'm talking about the physical realm.
A good question. How much do you trust science? Have you taken the vaccine?
Do you know that the sun's going to come up tomorrow?
He won't answer. Well, that's a presupposition. That's kind of a given.
It's not a presupposition.
No, sorry, an axiom. Sorry. See, you're one of them pedants that get all hung up over wording.
It's not a presupposition.
You're going to hang me on words rather than try to actually understand what I'm saying.
No, but we know that there are certainties in life. Is that right?
Yeah, certainty. Yeah.
So how can you say that everything is uncertain?
I never said that.
You said that.
No, you said, are some things uncertain? And I said,
you said we
now
can't
you're
know.
saying, so everything's uncertain.
Well, you can't know. You said that we can't know everything.
If you're going to be a pedantic person, be very careful with your language. You asked, would you agree that some things are uncertain? And I said, yeah.
No. I did not say uncertain. I did not say uncertain.
Some people
I did not
can
say
rewind
uncertain.
the live stream
certain.
and hear it.
Certain.
And then you went on to say that I say everything's uncertain.
No, I said everything that is uncertain. Do you know anything that is uncertain in life? Or, sorry, you're right. Probably I said something that is, can you name me anything that is certain in life?
You definitely just said that I said that everything is uncertain.
No, I said, can you name me something that is certain in life, in the life we live? What is certain?
Yeah, I'm not bothered about that bit. I'm bothered about the bit you said after, where I said, "Well, you said everything is uncertain."
What can we
I can tell you.
experience?
I can tell you what is certain.
Yeah,
That
tell me what it's certain.
every one of you and everybody on earth, whether they are Muslim
No one
or
gets out of
Christian
here alive.
or Buddhist or atheist, matters not. After you die, you're going to the heaven created by God, and He is Jesus. No matter
No,
what you did,
that's not certain. That's not certain.
that every man shall bow their heads and bend
Give him
their
his
knees
2
to
minutes.
Him, and
That's
you're gonna when you
that is
see
not
what He really is, you're gonna
Let him
want
speak.
Wesley. That is not certain. That's a
Iron,
speculation.
iron. That's not the point.
You don't know if you're gonna go to heaven.
Iron. He hadn't finished what he was saying. You have to let him finish. There's a 2 minute. There's a 2 minute counter up on the board, and you have to let him. Everybody has. If they want to talk, I don't mind giving it 60 seconds. At this point, we all agreed that it's going to be 2 minutes. So give him his 2 minutes before you respond, and then when you respond, he will have to honor the 2 minute commitment that he made to you. So
okay, so who's responding right now?
Let
Sure,
Wesley.
I will.
Let Wesley
Young
finish.
man,
Hold on a
no
second.
matter
Wesley,
what you say, no matter what you do, you're going to heaven.
go for you got 2 minutes, Wesley.
I just said, young men, no matter what you've done that was evil,
Okay.
no matter what you've done that was bad, you're going to heaven made by Jesus Christ, like it or not.
Okay. Now you mute, and I let Iron have his 2 minutes.
But Wesley, you don't know that that's a certainty, though. Do you know that that is true, 100%?
What's that?
You know that.
You asking me or Wesley?
You want him to?
No, I'm asking Wesley.
You're giving you 2 minutes, dude.
Wesley.
And you got 15 seconds in, and you asked Wesley.
Wait. Oh wait, what am I? Who am I asking questions to right now?
Help me out, Sidney.
I don't know. I don't know.
Every knee shall bend.
Hold on, Sidney. I'm just popping through.
Can you mute? Can you mute Wesley, please?
Right, Sidney.
He said,
hold on. You and Wesley have a chat because I'm just popping for a cigarette. I'll be back in 2-3 minutes tops.
All right.
Sure. Jesus said, every knee shall bow. Bend. Every head shall bow. That Jesus Christ is God, and He never tells a lie.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
but
that tells me that even if you get marked with the mark of the beast, the 666, the Omnibar, and take the $32,000 and die on the earth and are left in the streets to stink, you're going to heaven after you die, no matter what you say, like it or not.
Yeah, but none of this proves God. All gods are still imaginary at this point.
Wesley, that's not a certain thing. You can't prove that. You cannot show.
That's kind of a yeah on your part. I'm sorry, but I don't have to prove it. You're asking. It's like I don't need to prove something like that.
Why not?
It's gonna happen.
I think it's all mythology.
What you say? I'm going to listen.
Yeah.
I'm just going to listen.
I think that you have been infested with the disease of Zeus. You know what the disease of Zeus is?
No.
Zeus has a disease. His disease is spreading this false doctrine amongst humanity that whenever people die, they're gonna expect a reward in heaven. That's not that there's no documented evidence that shows that can happen at all. When you are dead, we have every evidence to show that when you are dead, you do not come back to life. That is guaranteed. That is a certain. We know that for sure, right? Whether Jesus circumvented that thing, the coming back from death to life, that is not a certain. We know what certains are. We know what what is the normal? What is the norm of things? And if one person circumvents that, it's not enough evidence. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead. Hello? Can you guys hear me? Sidney, you there? You're muted. Sidney, you're muted. Yeah, I can hear you now. So I mean,
Tom's gone for a cigarette, and Wesley is listening. So you got to carry on
yeah,
talking.
yeah. So let me ask you, Sidney, what do you think? What kind of certainties do you have in life? You know that you're gonna die, right? We know that the sun comes up every morning, right?
Okay.
We know that you have to pay taxes, right?
Okay.
We know that you have orgasms every time you have sex, or sometimes, right?
Okay.
We know that children needs caring and attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are certainties in life, right?
All right.
And religion circumvents these things. They say that no. You know, we don't have to have orgasms during sex or whatever. We don't have to have materialism, right? We don't have to love our kids or cherish our kids because that's what Jesus said, right, in the Bible, right? So I mean,
Yeah,
all these religions.
The Bible is useless to use as a some kind of evidence or anything like this in a conversation.
I'm just doing
you can't use the Bible.
I'm just
for anything historical.
I'm just using an internal critique against religion or Christianity. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm not talking. Religion's okay. Let people fucking have religion. I am saying that all the gods that they base their religion on are imaginary. That's my point.
No, I understand. I agree with you.
So
I agree.
So I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about the God that they believe in. Let's say. I'm not talking about the religion.
But if you want to,
yeah.
But if you want to debunk their God, you have to debunk their scripture. You have to.
No.
Because there's
bullshit.
Because the scripture is embedded with their God.
It's got nothing to do with the scripture. Zero. I want to have the God discussion irrespective of scripture. I said, hold on a second. I said all gods are imaginary. So I don't want to have somebody come with a Quran and a Bible and a Hebrew Bible and a Mormon Bible and a fucking Jehovah's Witness Bible and the Gideon Bible and all this kind of stuff. I don't really care about that, right? That's way too complex for me. I just want to talk about the imaginary God and forget about the scriptures because the imaginary God was there before they wrote anything down. Okay,
I understand, but what I see amongst atheists is that as soon as when they get into an argument with a theist, right? They all of a sudden they get into a really good argument, but then as soon as the theists bring up some kind of scriptural passage or whatever, the atheist fucking collapses. It's like they collapse and they say, it's like almost like the fucking Bible or the scripture is like superior to their arguments. You know what I mean?
No, I think you're talking crap. What do you mean the atheist collapses?
No, not atheism.
You said the atheist collapses when the Christian brings up the Bible. What are you talking about?
Well, yes, I think that's what they do.
The Bible is nonsense.
But I'm thinking about new atheists that are just arguing and getting into debates with Christians about their scripture, and as soon as a Christian bring up scripture, right? They don't know how to counteract that, right? They can bring up any fucking scripture. It's a book of 1,000 pages, even more, right? They can bring up any verse in the Bible, and the atheists will go, "Well, I haven't read that, so I don't know how to counter that," right?
No, wrong. I said to you that that the Bible is a book of fiction. How do you
Sidney,
not? What?
Sidney,
Excuse me. I do want to finish what I'm saying. I said to you that the Bible is a book of fiction. We all know it's a book of fiction. So what do you care? What do you care if somebody that's that's your opponent refers to the Bible and you say you discredit that information, you discount that information because the Bible is a book of fiction? What's the problem with that?
Yeah, but Sidney, you can't just go and ask for evidence, demonstrate your religion, demonstrate your God. You can't do that. That's a useless thing, because they can make up anything they want in order to defend their God. They can come up with all kinds of shit. You can't just ask for evidence. Give me evidence for your God. Give me.
I
don't
want evidence for God. I just said. Right. I said. My claim. I don't know if you've read my claim, but my claim is that. My claim is that all gods are imaginary.
No, I understand. I understand.
I can't finish a sentence. I can't finish a fucking sentence. I can't finish a thought with you in the room, dude. So seriously, prove me wrong that all gods are imaginary. It's all. If you go, oh, the Bible says this and the Scripture says that, that doesn't mean shit, because you say that God exists and God wrote the Bible. I'm asking you to prove that God is not imaginary.
Okay, I had a blood clot in my lower thigh, right?
I don't know if you say so.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to prove you that God is real.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so what I did was the blood clot in my leg, right? It was really bad. I went to the doctor. They put me on blood thinners and all this shit, and then try to get rid of the blood clot. It didn't work, right? Mm. So what happened is I had a Bible, right?
Yeah.
And what I did was I took the Bible and I put the Bible on my lower leg, where the blood clot was, right?
Yep.
And I spent probably maybe about 2 to 3 hours praying, meditating, right? Mm-hmm. And what happened is that the blood clot went away.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And when I went back to the doctors, they said, "What did you do? Yeah. Like, did you do anything special? Did you change your diet? Did you start exercising?" Yeah. I said, "No." Right? Yeah. So they said I told them what I did. Yeah. And they said, "Wow, that's really good." Because the X-rays show that the blood clot is cleared up. There's no more thrombosis in your lower leg. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So how do you explain that?
I can't. Well, obviously, hold on. Oh, he's talking to me. Well, I would have to say that the only explanation for that is that God is real. And considering that you've just proved that God is real, I have no reason to have a channel anymore. So I'll be shutting it down, because my assertion that all gods are imaginary has just been proved wrong by Iron. Thank you very much for messing up my whole channel. Now I've got nothing. I got nothing to present to anybody.
I have empirical evidence.
Yeah, okay. Sure you do. All right. Yeah.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection.
Oh, whoa.
I can show you X-rays.
Don't shut down the stream. Lucky 7 Wolves coming on in a minute.
Okay.
I can show you ultrasounds. I can show you all kinds of stuff.
I wasn't saying I was going to shut down the stream. I said I was going to shut down the whole channel.
Oh yeah, go on. Do it.
Well, as soon as you prove that all gods are not imaginary, I'll do it.
There was a king who thought God was imaginary. His name was Zimtrol, and he was the first person in his tribe to migrate to what is known now as Ireland. And Zimtrol was a Jewish king after the days of after Jesus had passed away, or excuse me, was murdered on the cross, rose from the dead, and then ascended to heaven. Many years after that, and he commanded his tribe to build what we know today as Stonehenge. And what Stonehenge is was a monument to his crown. Zimtrol had a crown that he wore to his Jewish tribe, and he commanded his people to build it, a shape exactly like his crown. And Jesus appeared to him and said, "Do not build it." And they built it anyway. And it took them a long time, a lot of hard labor to build that thing. And the day it was inaugurated, Jesus appeared again and turned most of it into dust, what you see today. And that's what Stonehenge is. It's a Jewish hat.
Why would they disobey Jesus?
He did the same thing to the pharaohs concerning the pyramid.
No. I mean, Jesus is the creator of the earth and the universe and all that, right? Why would you disobey the creator of the universe when you want to build Stonehenge? That doesn't make sense.
Well, why is the meaning of the black shoe on the foot in the vision that I did?
Is there somebody more powerful than Jesus?
It was a very fashionable thing to ask why. The fashion of men. And that shoe, a very fashionable, square-toed, dirty, dusty shoe. And that person that wore that shoe and wasn't going to take it off even if they cut his body into pieces. And they did. In the vision, his foot was cut off, and that black shoe means why. So why is cut off.
Yeah, but you said you said that people wanted to build a Stonehenge, right? And then Jesus came along and said, "Don't build a Stonehenge," right? But then people disobey Jesus and they build a Stonehenge anyway, right?
You shall never be given the reason why concerning any of these questions.
But is Jesus the creator of the universe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why would you disobey the creator of the universe? I mean, like, that doesn't make sense. Like, Jesus would automatically punish you if you disobey him. Isn't that the truth?
Well, that's a question.
Well, but they built the Stonehenge anyway. So the Stonehenge is actually an evil symbol, is it?
Jesus said, "Tell the vision, you shall heal without money."
Well, no, the Stonehenge is something that was built without Jesus' consent. Is that right?
He did not say, "Tell the vision, and you shall not need the mark," but ask me why until. He said, ask me why.
No, they said that Jesus said, "Don't build Stonehenge." And they went to build Stonehenge anyway. So they went against Jesus' will, right? Is the will of Jesus, the creator of the universe, more important than mortal human beings?
I'm not going to try to sound more intelligent than I am to you. I'll just say I don't know.
Okay, fine. So that makes your point mute. Right? Because why would somebody obey Jesus? Tell me that, Wesley. Do you disobey Jesus?
I got it.
Wesley.
Hello.
Yes.
What's up?
Wesley, are you there?
Yes.
Do you disobey Jesus?
Yes, I do. And it is ill of me to do so. Yes, I do.
You disobey Jesus?
Yes, I do.
What do you do that Jesus did not?
There is no God, only Satan.
Oh yeah, the sad and delicious guy. Yeah, I'm gonna meet up with him soon enough.
Who's the alien-looking dude? So that's what I'm saying. Is like, I mean, there's no basis for that, Wesley. There's no You don't have a foundation there. There's nothing. Right? Sidney, you there? I really want to talk to Phantom, this Phantom Prophet guy, because he seems
You're
to
right, bro.
be.
Well,
still
You
just tell him that you want to talk to him, and he'll talk to you.
Phantom, you there?
Yeah.
Like, are you theist or what are you?
Well, theist, yeah, not religious. I class myself as a non-religious theist.
A non-religious theist.
Yeah.
So you don't go to church.
I believe there's a mover, a prime mover that
So
made
you-
the Big Bang.
Okay, so you don't go to church.
I'm kind of Christian leaning. I was brought up a Cub Scout, a Beaver, a Cub, a Scout, Air Cadet, which involves a lot of Christian sort of rituals and stuff. And you get to Sunday school and you do all the
Yeah.
remembrance parades and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
So are you a deist?
I've got to be honest. I'd say I do hold a lot of Christianity in my heart. It helps me understand what this creational God might be. But I believe, I do, and I really mean that this is a powerful statement. I do believe there's a brick of truth in every religion. I think religions are mankind's way of passing down to future generations what they've learned about where we came from, why are we here, and it's more the why than the how. Do you understand? Right, now if I say a statement, do you understand the difference between why and how? Right.
No, I understand.
Hold on, I'm going to make a statement and let me know if you understand what I mean. Science will only ever determine how we came into existence, whereas theism will determine or may determine why we came into existence. Now, the difference being why and how. Yeah, science is how. That's measuring. It's observing. This is how we were made. This is how we came into existence.
Right.
Whereas theism is why. Now, why is the reason, isn't it? That why is why did we come into? It's the reason we came in. Now, reason can't be measured. If I make a painting, coming back to the painting, if I paint a painting, it's very hard. It's impossible for you to measure why did he make that painting.
Yeah. That's because why is a useless question.
Oh no! Why is the reason?
No.
Why is
asking...
logic? Oh, hold on, bud. Let's just concentrate on this little point. I know you're going on to the bigger thing. I see where you're coming from. But on the small scale, why equals reason, doesn't it? Why? Why did he do that? What was another way of saying why is saying what was the reason he did that?
Okay, let me ask you a question.
So why is reason?
Let me ask you a question.
Now, to me,
why is the color green? Now
that's irrelevant. I'd say that's irrelevant.
That's a useless question. That is a useless question.
That is. Yeah, why green is irrelevant.
So if I ask
it isn't because on a level, green is green. Do you know there's more shades of green than any other color?
Yeah, but I asked. But
and the human eye can detect. Yeah, hold on, but you've hit on something here that I think you might not like the answer to. Do you know the human eye can detect more shades of green than any other color?
I know that.
And do you know why?
I know how.
From our hunting days, we'd be hunting.
Gentlemen, scholars of greater intelligence than I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you very much, and I hope I can hear from you again.
Okay,
good night, Wesley.
Thank you for coming by.
Good night.
Thank you for coming by.
Well.
Thanks.
But I mean, yeah,
okay,
no, I'm not saying all questions of why have reason, right? Well, I'd say they do, arguably, but not of consequence. But when we're talking about the Big Bang, science might work out how the Big Bang came to be and how we evolved from the Big Bang, but it will never, ever determine why. Now, why equals reason. And I would argue that reason is the main thing that matters. It doesn't matter how. What doesn't matter? Reason is the reason that matter matters. Matter came from the Big Bang.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, okay, quickly here. So would you ask the question, who created the universe? Would you say that?
You what, sorry?
Would you ever ask the question to somebody, like somebody that's a non-believer? Would you ever ask the question to them, who created the universe? Would you ever say that to them?
No.
Why?
Hold on. You're asking me why?
No, I'm asking.
I thought why was an irrelevant question.
Well, why is kind of redundant. But let me ask you the question.
Why are you asking me why?
No,
you see what I'm saying?
No.
You want the reason. Do you want the reason that I wouldn't?
No. Would you ever ask somebody who created the universe?
No.
You wouldn't do that. Why?
What, do you want the reason?
Yeah, why wouldn't you say that who created the universe?
So you do understand that why is the reason, yeah. Because when you said why and I said, do you want the reason, you know now, suddenly you know what I mean.
Yeah, but you know that most religions in the world, they know who created the universe, right?
No, but you're asking who?
No.
I'll grant you that. Right, I'll lean over towards you. Right.
Okay, so Christianity
I would ask someone. Ask your question again. Ask your question again.
Yeah,
I thought of a different way that I would ask it. So ask it again.
Christianity knows who created the universe, right?
No. Ask your question again. Because when you asked it, I thought, no, I wouldn't ask it that way, but I'd ask it.
I'm asking.
Just remind me. Remind me how you asked it to start with.
I'm going to refine it.
No. Ask me the first way, because I have got a one I would ask.
Okay. So wouldn't it be better to ask? Wouldn't it be better to ask how the universe created as opposed to who created the universe?
But you're going from who to how. I'm saying why to how.
Well,
not
why?
Who.
Well, why comes in between the how and who?
So, I can see how your brain's working. Your brain is avoiding the why because you don't. Your brain instinctively knows it hasn't got an answer.
But you will find out. You will find out the why.
You're looking for certainty in the realm of unknowability.
No,
but that's why you probably veer away. It's probably good time spent. I mean, not being funny, but theists are spending the time worrying about something they'll never get an answer to.
Let me ask you a question. If you ask how was the universe created, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you know why the universe was created?
No, that's a incorrect correlation.
No, you wouldn't know that.
No, because sometimes how does not how. No. Right. Did you hear me talk about the car production line earlier?
No, I understand. But if I say
hold on.
Now, if I say,
come on, bro, you're asking me questions and you're not letting me go into depth.
Let me just finish this one point. If I say, how was the table created?
You're trying to fish for me to either get stuck.
Let me give you the analogy.
You're not asking me genuine questions that you want.
Let me give you the analogy. So if I ask you, how was the table created, right? You're going to tell me the table was created this way and that way. And then obviously there might be an explanation in that as to why the table was created, right?
There might, but there might not be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they connected, aren't they?
To some degree, but you cannot. If I refer back to the car production line analysis, right? did you hear it earlier? Because if you didn't, it's a waste of time you going into it. About how I said we can look at the car and we can say, how did this car get here? And then we can look at the production line. Oh, well, this is, and to me, the production line is evolution. The car got here because there's this production line. We got here because there's this evolutionary path. Do you see how I'm simplifying the two? Now, I can look at that car production plant. That isn't going to tell me why. I can kind of get your point. Right, they need, whoever made this production plant needed the car. And they needed the car to be able to travel around. They needed it to run on petrol. They needed it to do that. You know, there's certain levels of why that can be answered. But there's the ultimate question of why aren't they still using horses that can eat grass and poo fertilizer when the cars are eating petrol and pumping out carbon monoxide and dioxide and toxins, and it needs a massive industry to fuel the oil. Do you see what I'm saying? It gets a little bit more complicated when you think about it.
No, I understand exactly what you're saying. I know what the variables are and the complications are, right?
Yeah.
I know that. But if you break it down...
It doesn't answer the ultimate question of why is there a car? Oh, people need transport. Well, people had transport, horses.
Well,
nature, the evolutionary path, provided us that transport.
Well, yeah, if you break it down,
and it provided us the fertilizer as well.
No, why is there cars? Because somebody came.
Eco-friendly system. Sorry.
No. Why is there cars? Because somebody came up with the idea in the head. That's the why. Right.
So it began in the imagination, didn't it?
Yeah, but you can't say that.
Sidney's getting nervous now.
Who's getting nervous?
Sydney. Because the idea of the car and began in someone's head, in their imagination.
Yeah, but he had to use raw materials to recognize.
This
right?
is what I'm saying.
Right.
Now, it's a hypothesis. If there was a God and he imagined the universe, he could take his raw materials and his abilities to create.
Okay. So you are intelligent designerist. You're creating.
Yeah, definitely.
You believe in intelligent design?
Sentient design. Yeah, semantics. That's semantics. Okay. I hate getting into semantics.
Okay, I get it. I get it. So you're not a theist, but you like the idea.
Right. What would you describe as a theist? This is the trouble with a lot of labels. What I mean by
a theist is a person who believes in one of the major 4 religions in the world.
Oh, no, that's wrong.
Okay, no. So that means that...
So to me, a theist is someone that believes in some sort of sentient being, or not even being, actually. It's maybe more spiritual. This is why I call it Deuce. Did you hear me talking about Deuce? D-U-C-E, divine, universal, creational entity.
Yeah, but does
whatever God is, it created the universe with reason and purpose. So that's it. That's as far as I go with my view of God. Okay. I don't think it's some God that, if I fall off a block of ladders, it's going to catch me, or if I pray to it, it's going to give me favors. Or
so do you believe in Jesus?
Well, I did, then I didn't, then I did, then I didn't. Then I think maybe it's like a superhero that previous generations have created because they've learned that humankind's need, just like Muhammad, just like Shiva, is it, and all the different gods in Hinduism. And
so do you believe in Islam?
I really do believe this, and I'm not just saying this. I believe there is a brick of truth in every religion.
Okay, so that means...
If I can just quickly explain for the benefit of the audience as well, I think religions are created by men. They're man-made. God did not come down and write these books. We know that, right? It's man's interpretation of divine dreams, of divine visions, of meeting other people that tell them stories and all this sort of stuff. But it's mankind's attempt at leaving something for the next generation. Now, you've got to bear in mind, we only live 75 to 100 years, if we're lucky.
Yeah, no, I understand. But that was not my question, though.
No, but what I'm saying is, it's impossible. Like, if you had a child today, it'd be impossible. And that child, where did we come from, Dad? Well, you came from your mother. And where did Mum come from? Your mum came from your
I understand. I understand.
Blah, blah, blah. You're going to get back to the Big Bang, aren't you? Which is why I go
No. I don't want to get back to the Big Bang. I just want to ask you.
Please let me finish my thought.
No, but I just want to ask you a simple
question.
So
we go through this process and it comes to the Big Bang. And the ultimate question, kids that why? They never stop with the why. They never ask how, they ask why. That's a key leader. That's a key leader in instincts, right? They ask why, not how, right? So they go, why? And we get back to the Big Bang. And then, if we're honest...
Well, that's why you tell the kids to go to bed when they ask why.
Bro, please.
I
like you, but you're interrupting.
Why. Go to bed.
Right. Now, you get back to the Big Bang, and they go, why? Well, if we're honest, we'd say, I don't know. But we're not like that. We're like, well, as far as we know. Now, this is where all religions are born from. The Mohammedans, Muslims would say one thing, Christians would say another, Hindus would say, no, it's a cycle of life, we're reborn. The infinite regression theory, I think science has ruled out because of the background radiation. So it's not an infinite universe that's constantly expanding and contracting. There was a definitive beginning, as far as I understand from what I've heard in science. That come from quantum mechanics, I believe. I'm not sure.
Okay, so if there was a definitive beginning, right?
Yeah.
That means that it was a finite beginning, right?
Yeah.
Is your God? The Bible says that the God is, or religions claim that their God is eternal, right?
Yeah.
That's a contradiction.
No, because God's eternal. God created this. This is why I talk
How
about...
can a God be eternal if they had a beginning?
I'm answering your question before you've asked it.
No. How can a God be eternal if they had a beginning?
I'm answering your question. I was answering your question before you asked it. Right? That is because God can be eternal, right? But this is why I use the fish bowl analogy. God's living in a different realm, different time, different space to us. But it creates this universe that does have a definitive beginning. It's like you or me with the painting. I imagine making a painting. So I'll make a paintbrush, I'll make some paints, I'll make a canvas, and then I paint that painting. Now, that painting has a definitive time beginning, doesn't it? That painting didn't exist before this time, and it did exist after I made the canvas and I started putting paint on the canvas. But I precede that time. What you're doing, I think, forgive me if I'm wrong, but you're saying that because the universe has got a definitive beginning, then its creator must have a definitive beginning. Now, it might be. I mean, I'm not one to shy away from the infinite regression thing where, what made God? But for our logical process thinking, I think the farthest I can logically go back is the Big Bang to then its creator. But what I've noticed with a lot of atheists is they'll go back to the Big Bang and they'll stop there. Oh, I don't need to know if there's a creator, or it doesn't matter if there's a creator or not. Well, to me, that's ignoring the why. I mean, that's fair enough. I don't mind. They can do what they want. I think there is a reason that people are atheists, because their minds need to be focused on the material aspects of life. Everyone's here for a reason. Everyone's got different parts to play in life. Some people are meant to be bogged down in the nitty-gritty how. Some people need to be thinking about the why. Some people need to be emptying the bins. Some people need to be building the bins. Some people need to be designing the bins. Some people need to think, oh, can we make the bin better? It's a myriad of life. Life's not so simple and black and white as people want it to be. And I think this is one of the hindrances in the atheist-theist debates is people treat it like a win-lose rather than a sharing of points of view, and we're both learning off each other. I'd rather take that point of view where you tell me about, I don't fuck all about quantum mechanics. You tell me about that. I'll tell you about my theories. But it'd be nice for me to be able to put my theories out there without being mocked and ridiculed like people in the side chat, like Lucky Wolf and Fraser. I mean,
okay. Listen,
let's actually analyze.
Can I respond?
Yeah. But before you do, just saying, analyze their comments in the side chat. They've obviously got some sort of horse in the race, or they feel offended by the fact that my brain can imagine something creating us. My thoughts don't affect their life, but it obviously does, because they're going to all these efforts of typing on the keyboard. They're getting angry. You can hear them more gibberish. Oh, this is fucking stupid.
Who's getting angry? Nobody's getting angry.
Lucky 7 wolfing.
How's it getting angry?
Tom, don't make these people angry. Stop talking drivel.
But it's not drivel, though, is it?
Of course it's drivel. It's absolute nonsense.
Saying it's nonsense.
Absolute nonsense. You still haven't proved me wrong.
You telling me that my thoughts are nonsense is no more effective than me saying God is real. You know what I mean? I can say God's real.
That is the nonsense you're talking, is about the God thing.
No. It's plausible. It's more than
not
plausible.
It's absolutely implausible.
It's mathematically probable.
Totally 100% implausible. No way.
Mathematically probable. Is it more probable that something come from nothing, or more probable that something came from something?
You have failed to listen to me when I've said to you.
Yeah, it's a basic question.
You have failed. Excuse me, I'm talking to you.
What came first?
Excuse me. I do have a question for you.
Give me the egg.
Stop it. Stop fucking me up. Okay, so Tom, I have said to you in this conversation that the Big Bang was not the beginning of matter. You just totally ignored me. And I want you to understand that the Big Bang was not the beginning of matter. We all understand that. We all know that. But you specifically tried to leave that out. You said the Big Bang caused time, space, and matter. That is incorrect. That is an outright lie. We know that matter was present. Before Planck time, okay?
So therefore, there could have been a realm for a creational entity, correct?
Incorrect.
Could have been.
No, couldn't. What do you mean could have been? Could have been from where? From what?
I'm glad I'm recording this. You just said, yeah, there could have been. Yeah, they could. That's a scientific fact.
No, they cannot. They couldn't be anything. There was only matter. Matter is eternal. Matter is not created or destroyed. It is. It always has.
Well, Tom, when you invoke the word realm, that's where the problem comes in, because you have to show this realm, right? Where is this realm coming from? What kind of realm is this? Is this the quantum phone?
Exactly.
Is this the quantum vacuum? Is this the... Where is this realm that you're speaking about?
It's the spiritual realm that creeps around at night when the lights go out.
No, it's a spiritual realm that was made up by the...
Yes, of course it was made up.
The mind, the human mind.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no basis, there's no realm there to speak of.
You see, this is where Tom is dishonest. He said atheists claim we came from nothing. See, he's telling us what we claim. That is, you're being dishonest. I'm sorry.
That's it.
Not only do you tell me what you think, what a theist thinks, but he tells me what the atheist thinks as well.
No, Wolf 7 said, and he's put it in quotation marks as if I said it. So something coming from nothing equals God made the universe. No,
So
that's
Tom,
not what I said. Hold on. That's not what I said. I said atheists claim that something comes from nothing.
yes,
Not me.
Yes, that's right.
We don't claim that, though.
Right.
We don't claim that. We don't claim that. We do not claim. We do not.
That's not improbable. That's impossible.
We do not.
How
We do
Yeah,
not
yeah,
claim that.
Yeah,
We
I've got a question
do
for you.
not claim that.
We don't know,
at
but
all.
atheists don't know what
Hold
nothing
on.
is.
Ian just said yes. That is what they. Right, I've got a question for you then.
Atheists
Stop,
don't
please
know what
explain
nothing
to me
is,
scientifically.
and you don't know either.
Hold on, Ian, please explain to me scientifically how something can come from nothing. And by nothing, I don't mean the new term of quantum mechanic nothing, where they've actually redefined nothing as something. I'm on about nothing, zero.
It's
zero,
impossible for something
zero
to come
space,
from
zero
nothing.
time,
So-
from
so-
nothing.
It's impossible for something to come from nothing because there never was
Exactly.
nothing.
Thank
Exactly.
you.
There never was
Yeah.
nothing.
Thank
Energy.
you.
Energy.
So you're proving-
Energy.
You're proving my point.
No,
Because
I'm
that's
not.
the atheist argument. The atheist argument is that something comes from nothing.
No.
All I'm saying is
But what do you define as nothing though?
this is it. Nothing as in zero, so nothing matter.
What is nothing to you?
Excuse me.
No,
Excuse
but
me.
nothing is nothing.
Are you using a?
There is
Hold on,
no
hold on.
such
Look,
thing
break
as
the
nothing.
word down. Break the word down. No thing. No thing.
Okay, but what does no thing mean to
It
you in
doesn't
the
say
universe?
something. I'm saying that the world was created from something. We just don't know what that something was. That is where it opens.
Well, what does
the door.
no thing mean
That's where it
to you in
opens
the
the door
universe?
to it being a theistic God, or some sort of God. I might be wrong again. There might be another physical, just a chemical thing, and then that might have come from another chemical thing, and that might have come from it. But eventually, we're going to get where there's either something or nothing. And to me, and it's a leap of faith, I've said, chemicals bounce together and we're
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
then I'll join me into the queue for the rape, pillage, murder, burglary. Let's fuck each other over. Let's consume the planet's resources. Let's not think about the future. Let's not think about our kids. Let's not think about our grandkids or our great grandkids or our great. Let's just fucking, it's here and now. It's all an happy accident.
Hey, Sidney, this guy's like babbling on, man.
I know he's very ingenuous.
No, it's a powerful argument.
You know what? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to mute you.
Can you give a chance for some other people
Yeah,
to talk?
honestly, Tom, you're being very, very rude. Whenever I've said to you, when you said that atheists say that something comes from nothing, and my response to you is that there is no such thing as nothing. There always is energy. Energy is eternal. And you still insist on saying that atheists say that something comes from nothing. You're being dishonest and you're being disrespectful to you're underestimating our intelligence. But whenever you say that, you're lying. When you say that atheists say that something comes from nothing, you are lying. And I don't like that. I find that to be a little bit reprehensible for you to.
No,
I'd like you to stop saying that atheists say that something comes from nothing. Matter.
I'm just saying
matter. Energy is eternal. There is no other state.
Yeah, if Tom wants to posit a creator, right? Some kind of creative being, then I mean that creative being has to have some kind of form of substance.
I don't care what he posits. I don't care. It's that's from here for him. But for him to tell me what I think and for him to be wrong about it every single time, even though I've told him over and over and over again that matter did not get created at the Big Bang. Matter was present long before the Big Bang. Matter is eternal, in fact. That is why there is no God. There cannot be a God. Matter being eternal, no need for creation. End of story. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think, like Tom, like I don't understand this whole creationist thing with you. Because, I mean, if you look at creationism these days, they don't have any types of substantial evidence. And when you ask them a question, all they do is throw the Bible in your face.
Exactly.
And say, "Go away," right?
Or they come up with imaginary paintings.
or they set up something like the Creation Museum or the Art Park. That's what they do, right?
Well, the thing about Tom is he comes up with this imagining a painting.
Is he still there, by the way?
Yeah, but he's talking about imagining a painting as if that's some kind of an analogy to the existence of God's mind. It's ridiculous.
It's not. It's not.
Of course not.
How can you compare a painting or making a car to the mind of a god?
Exactly.
You don't understand an analogy.
I'll give you okay, Tom, here's one for you. Can I Tom,
I'll say a sentence. I haven't even finished the sentence and you're interrupting me.
Can I
and
give
you're
you
claiming that I'm the one constantly.
No, you've been talking forever, so now it's time for me to ask you. It's time for me to ask you. The whole idea was to give everybody a chance to talk, and now I'm going to ask you this, Tom.
Asked you.
Tom, you're walking along.
Your projection does not work on me, oh Satanist one.
Okay, you're walking along,
Look
Tom.
into the mirror where you have no shadow.
You're a deist, though.
You're walking along.
I believe in black magic. I know how black magic works.
That means you're a Satanist as well.
Oh no, I know how it works. I don't use it. I know how it works.
But you're a deist. That means you're a Satanist.
You can project if you like.
You don't conform to Christianity or any type of the theists, so that they consider you a pagan, and pagans are.
He's a heretic. He's a heretic.
Yeah, but by what standard? The Christian standard.
Doesn't matter. You're a heretic.
As you've just said, you're a little bit slow on the uptake, aren't you? I'm not a Christian.
You are a heretic.
You're trying to insult me by claiming I'm a heretic. Are you really that silly?
You are a heretic.
Well, yeah, because you don't.
All that desperate to win an argument.
You're a confirmed heretic.
I'll beat you on base logic without need for reference to scientists or religious novel.
Please.
Just off my own.
Don't overestimate. Don't exaggerate. Don't exaggerate.
A child. This is how worried you should be.
You haven't used any logic so far.
Path to logic. Where did we come from and why? I even had the guy that said
the point was that you will not listen. You will not listen.
The guy who said why doesn't matter.
Jesus fucking Christ, Tom.
No, I said who doesn't matter.
Tom, you're a motor mouth, man. You're a motor mouth. You won't listen. All you want to do is you want to fucking preach. That's all you want to do. You do not want to listen.
Why am I preaching?
You do not want. You do not want to listen.
I'm not preaching.
I don't care. I don't care what you do, but you do not want to listen.
You're just adverse to thought.
You just do not want to listen to anybody else's point of view. All you want is your point of view and nobody else's. And if I want to say to you that I want to give you a situation to think about, you won't even fucking listen to me, or you won't even hear me say that. I already said that to you, but you went on fucking crying about something or other. It's really, really, really not. It's not cricket, you know. So stop it. Now, Tom, I got this riddle for you. You're walking along in the bushes where there's really no built up anything, and you come across a book which is entitled the Holy Bible. Do you think this book just appeared out of nowhere, or do you think that somebody wrote it and printed it and bound it and published it? That's the question, Tom.
What was that, sorry?
That's the question.
What was the question?
You see, that's exactly what I'm saying. You don't listen to me.
Yeah.
You don't listen.
Isn't it funny when people aren't listening to you?
Okay, well, if you're not listening, then you're of absolutely no use to this room.
What was your question?
Well, I'm not convinced that you're going to listen to
You
me.
forgot your question, haven't you? You forgot your own question.
Did you?
I
asked you the question,
well,
and then
I asked
you the question. I asked you the question, and then I asked you for your response, and then you said to me, "Oh, what was the question?"
Yeah, because I don't know if you can notice your own side chat, but I was writing in the side chat.
Oh, so your ears don't work when you're typing?
Apparently, what I'm saying doesn't matter. It's all bullshit. So
yeah, well, true. It's not apparently. It is a fact.
So why would you being so superior, why would you waste your time asking me a question?
Because I'm bringing myself down
and then not being able to remember the question or repeat the question.
I never said that. I said
but I'm the one that's
oh, shut the fuck up, or I'm going to mute you because I'm going to ask you my question while you're muted, okay? You can unmute yourself when you're when I finished. Okay, so you're walking along in the tundra, and it's not a built-up area. Nobody's ever been there before. You're walking along, and then you come across a book, what looks like a book, and you pick up the book, and it says the Holy Bible. Now, tell me something. How did that Holy Bible get there? Did it just appear out of nature? Did it appear randomly, or do you think there was a design to this holy book that you're writing? Do you think that somebody wrote the material, had it printed and bound and published, and that there was a design behind this holy book, this holy Bible that you found? Go ahead.
So you haven't been listening to me either then?
No, just answer the question.
So you haven't been listening to me, have you?
I said answer.
To even ask that question. So I stumble in the desert and I find a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm answering the question. Anyway.
All right, go ahead.
Right, so I'm stumbling in the desert. I come across a book that's got all this scripture in it. And you're asking me, do I believe that God wrote it or mankind?
No,
yeah,
I did not say
no,
that.
Do you know what?
I did not say that.
I'm answering
I will ask you the question again. I'll present it to you again.
I didn't even get to answer it.
No, you didn't. You didn't understand it. You did answer it, and you've.
Yeah,
I didn't present it. I obviously didn't present it very well.
The question was. No, do you know what, Sid? I believe. Yeah, I'll play down to what you're expecting.
You know what? I think. You know what, Tom? Tom? I want to tell you something.
There's a bearded guy.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something, Tom. I'm going to tell you something.
And he started off doing it on stone, right? And then scientists come up and they gave him ink and tablets and printing presses. So he went from printing it on stone to.
It's actually sort of very analogous to the watch. You know, you're walking along and you find a watch. Is the watch created? Or did the watch randomly assemble itself? That's the same question. I didn't ask you anything about God. All I said to you was if the Bible.
Right, if you want me to give an half-decent answer to your ridiculous question, I would say, yes, I wouldn't look at the book and think that's from God. What I'd do is look at the book and think, weigh it on its merits.
What merits? Hello?
You're going to have to keep muting me, bud.
What merits?
I was getting to that. You'll find a lot of the questions you ask are coming up. It's weird considering that I waffle on, but I can predict.
Sidney, you're muted.
But I can predict what questions you're going to ask.
Sidney, you're still muted.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't hear Sidney.
Yeah, I think he's muted himself. I'm not sure. But I'd come across the book. I'd weigh it up on its measures, right? The measures are the community aspect of all religions. Don't cheat on your neighbour. I mean, it's obvious to anyone that why that would be a bad thing for any community. You don't have to be God or religious to know that.
Okay,
You know, the Ten Commandments. The 10 Commandments are all bad for communities.
Thank you, Nissa. Thank you.
So do you believe in the 10 Commandments?
Yeah, I'd say they're pretty good moral guides, really.
Wait. So do you believe in the 10 Commandments in the Bible, in the Old Testament?
Yeah, as far as I know. Do you know what? I couldn't even name you the 10 Commandments. That's how non-religious I am. No murder, don't covet your neighbour's oxen, don't give false testimony.
Well, I could give you all three. They're all on the screen right now. If you just look at the screen, they're there. And also, I put up the 11 rules of...
I don't know if you've noticed.
11 Satanic Rules of the Earth.
Google me. I'm not on YouTube.
Tom, why don't you become a deist? You're a deist.
How do you describe a deist?
You're not a Christian. You're not religious at all.
I've not said I'm Christian or religious. I've said I'm a non-religious deist.
Exactly. A deist is somebody who believes that some kind of creational being exists, but they don't interact with this world that we live in right now.
No, but I think they do. No, they definitely do. I believe in prophet. I don't know if you've noticed.
So then you're a theist, then.
Yeah, which is what I've said.
So that means you believe in one of the theist gods.
Seem to both have a problem with actually listening. You're so wrapped up in attacking a straw man. You're not actually listening.
But which of the theist gods do you believe in? Which of the
do you understand why none of your arrows or bullets have hit me yet? Because you're aiming at people and arguments that aren't me.
Tom, question.
All of your arguments so far have gone past me, under my feet.
Tom, I have a question for you.
You're not actually addressing my beliefs.
No, I have a question for you. What is your God's
name?
Same
as a side chat. I mean, it's fascinating. They've been there for like 2.5, 3 hours now.
Tom, what is your God's name?
Yeah, they can't leave.
What is the name of your God, Tom?
Deuce.
Deuce? Your God's name is Deuce?
D-U-C-E.
That's a 2. That's a number 2.
No, that's D-E-U-C-E.
God, but I don't believe in any fucking God.
Only atheists can be this anally retentive about religion.
But you still have a burden of proof to prove that this God Deuce exists.
I don't have a burden of proof for shit.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't, because I'm not selling any.
Can you tell
hold
me?
Hold on, Iron. Let me get one thing clear. I'm not here.
Can you tell me if your God Deuce exists?
Hold on. Listen, you can't listen, can you?
I'm sorry. I've had enough. Hold on a second. I've had enough.
Wise men know how to listen.
I've had enough. I've had enough of Tom, you talking, not giving anybody else a chance to talk, but only your voice is the one to be heard. Well, I've had enough, okay? If you cannot be respectful to let everybody have a turn to finish their point, then you're not welcome in here anymore, okay? So if you can play by the rules, you're welcome. If not, then it's very frustrating. So please make up your mind. Yes.
Sid, when you listen back to this later, you'll realise.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot.
Just like now.
Well, no. Thanks for coming, Tom. I don't think we can carry on like this anymore. When I start to get anxious, when I start to feel frustrated by what's going on, this guy is lying. He's fucking dishonest. He's rude. He's disrespectful. He's out of here.
Well, the thing is, though, I did not want to pin him down to a certain kind of.
It's not about that. It's about him. It's about him. It's about him lying. It's about him being fucking dishonest. It's about him coming on and bragging about how he's he hasn't lost any of the argument, and he's proved his point, and we don't know what we're talking about, and atheists think that something came from nothing. All this crap. I can't, he won't stop. He won't stop and listen to what we say and acknowledge that, yes, atheists say that that atheists don't say that nothing comes from something. Atheists say that something always existed. If you would just be as honest and to say that just once, I'd be happy. But he repeats and repeats and repeats the lies and the baseless and empty assertions and claims, and I have had enough.
Well, this is the thing. This is what I got from his strategy, is that you can't pin him down. You can't pin him down on a certain kind of God, right? So what he's arguing for, it's like he has some kind of ethereal being that he believes in, right? So that means that atheists can't really, when they're asking questions, they can't really pin him down, right?
Yeah.
So he's arguing for this esoteric kind of ethereal being that he believes in, and he just told me he calls it Deuce. Whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah, it's exactly.
So he made that up.
He said, it's like, you cannot debunk me because I have Deuce.
Yeah, exactly. So I just fucking exposed the guy.
Of course you did. Of course, he's a fraud. He's a fake.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing.
See,
it's like he's making shit up as he goes.
And he's not a very deep thinker. So whatever he's making up doesn't make any sense. There's no logic.
Yeah. He's just making shit up as he goes along. That's
making
what
shit
they all
up.
do.
Exactly. And he's sitting there in the sidetrack. He's all smirky. He's smirky. He says, play it back. The facts don't support your claim. Okay.
I exposed you, man. I exposed you, Tom.
Yeah. Yeah. We can do a reaction to this video at some point, and you'll see.
You have to. If you stand for nothing, if you don't stand for anything, you stand for nothing, Tom. Come on.
Okay, Tom, we're going to do a reaction to this video very soon, one of these days. And we're going to see we're going to listen to exactly the shit that you say, and exactly the way you don't listen to us, and where exactly you claim stuff that doesn't happen. And,
you know
what?
It wasn't my goal to pin the guy on into a certain theology. You know what I mean? I didn't want to do that, right?
None of us. That's not the point. Theology is mythology. It doesn't matter. We're talking about the actual God thing that they will not admit doesn't exist, and we can't explain. We can't understand why.
Yeah, he was just all over the place, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way he does. He's like a bulldozer. He comes in.
He's almost speaking like a mystic. You know what a mystic is?
No.
It's these guys that start inventing their own religions.
Okay. Well, that's a huge imagination.
They appeal to their own mysticism in their mind, right?
Yeah.
Just exactly what the Gnostics did in the fucking in the 3rd century BCE. Right? This is what they did. They came up. They used their imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and they came up with these religions, and this is where it came from, man. That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's claiming to be a mystic,
right?
Like this mysticism, and he's trying to bring in this esoteric thought into these arguments, and he's failing.
Well, you know what? It gives me great comfort to know that I don't have to shut down this channel. Because I still haven't been proven wrong in my assertion that all gods are imaginary. So,
well, you know what? This is actually good because he was a perfect example of all gods being imaginary.
Yeah. So who's coming in? So who'll come in tomorrow?
Because he made it up out of thin air.
Yeah.
He created his god out of thin air. He said his god's name is Deuce.
Exactly.
Right?
It should have been dunce.
Yeah, probably dunce.
Okay, what did Deuce stand for? Divine.
Huh?
What?
I have no idea.
Okay, hold on a second. Divine.
Well, that's what he spelled.
Divine uncreated creational event.
No, divine uncreated con man of everybody.
Okay.
Okay, divine is the imaginary part. Uncreated, obviously no, because it doesn't exist. And the con man, we know that God is a con man, and he cons everybody.
It seems to me like the ancient world has conned the modern world, and we're the modern
think so
world.
too.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think so too. I think people have hung on to these superstitions and these beliefs and these astro theological and zodiacal beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
They still print the fucking zodiac in every magazine and newspaper today.
Do they?
What the fuck is that all about?
I've started reading the zodiac or the horoscopes back in the 90s when it was still sort of fun, entertaining.
Yeah, it's the same kind of shit this guy was spewing.
Exactly. Exactly.
They go, I can apply every kind of mysticism to you. I can apply any kind of derivatives to you because, my God Deuce is the ultimate being.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just, that's crazy, man.
Exactly, it's crazy.
Can this guy at least get a footing? Like, can he at least like say like, okay, fine, he's a deist, okay? I would accept that. Okay, he's a deist. I can argue.
I want to accept deism. Deism is just as silly as anything.
But then he brings up creationism. Like he's a ID proponent, intelligent design proponent, right? He's talking about intelligent design. That everything was intelligently designed by a being, right?
Well, I proposed to him. I started talking about the mind that is God, that wasn't around. That was around before there was something. Okay, he claims there was nothing, just God around. And I tried to get him to that point where, okay, we've got God, we've got nothing else. Okay, so I was trying to understand the mechanism, this mind that is God, about how it goes about creating matter. And he wouldn't go there. All he kept was insulting me and trying to straw man all the time. He wouldn't even listen to me. And that was my question. That's what really pissed me off, is that I was trying to get to this, to strip away everything and just get to God and start at God. Okay, now you got God, and now let's build the universe. Let's make something out of nothing. How does that work? And he wouldn't go there.
Yeah. You know what? I think Tom missed his calling. I think he should have been a preacher. Are you a preacher, Tom? Because you would make a killing. You would make a lot of money if you were some kind of pastor or preacher in a church.
That's right. If you had a pulpit and no one to interrupt you, and a hat to pass around.
You would make a lot of money, Tom. Tom.
Oh,
make a lot of money, man.
Did you read the side chat? He's a Darth Dawkins fan. Okay, well
really?
that says a lot. Yep.
No, where did he say
that? He said Darth Dawkins wouldn't waste his time here with you morons. LOL.
What the hell? Darth Dawkins is an idiot.
I know.
I don't see that. Where did he say
that? Do you have live chat or top chat?
Top chat.
You go to change it to live chat.
Switch to live chat.
And then it's at the bottom.
DD wouldn't waste his time here with you. What the fuck? DD's debunked.
I know.
DD is done for it, man.
Oh, it's funny.
You know who debunked Darth Dawkins?
Everybody he spoke to?
Pretty much, yeah. But Tom Rabbit actually, I think, debunked Darth Dawkins.
You know what? I think Darth Dawkins has debunked Darth Dawkins.
Oh, no, because Tom Rabbit brought up the argument that Darth Dawkins is not providing a true dichotomy when he's arguing.
Of course not.
He's saying it's either Christianity or nothing.
That's right. Yeah.
That's not a true dichotomy.
He's saying God exists. You're either you're an atheist, or you're denying that he exists.
Yeah,
that's his
and
position.
he's using brute force tactics. That's what he's using.
Yeah. Well, he has a mood disorder, and that would account for a lot, explain a lot.
Yeah, he's using the Bonson Van Til theology, saying that you cannot let these unbelievers get a head up on you. You have to always knock them down in their arguments in every step of the way.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Every step of the way. You have to bring them down to their level. It's a brute force tactic.
It's whack-a-mole.
Yeah. And that's horrible, man. Why would you go through life arguing like that? That's almost like desperate. That's almost desperation. That sounds like it's desperate.
No way, really?
What do you say?
I say it's totally desperate.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Oh yeah, my mic keeps fucking up.
Says so yet again. Sidney fails to logically debate against my theory of God and resorts to kicking me and claiming victory. Theory? You don't have a theory of God.
Exactly. He's he's English. Okay, we have to give that.
Well, you
can excuse the because he is English, and English people don't think very deeply. They kind of just do what they're told.
But he's a deist, though. That's his theory of God. He's a deist, or actually, no, he's a creationist.
How can he be a deist? He's a doist. He's a deucist.
That's right. I forgot. He's a deucist. He's a douchebagist.
I think that Tom Prophet is the douchiest.
A douchebaggiest. I like that. A douchebagist.
No, he's not a douchebag. He's not a douchebag. He's not. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. He's just.
I know.
He just has. He just hasn't developed mentally properly.
Yeah. Oh, who? Are you talking about Tom, the guy that was in?
Yeah.
The guy that was in here?
Yeah. So you shouldn't mock him because it's not his fault that he has.
No, I'm not going to block him. I don't know.
No, I said we shouldn't mock him because it's not his fault that he's not intelligent.
Well, that's fine. I think all religious people are victims. That's what I think.
Well, they're willing victims, that's for sure.
That's right. I think the victims of Jesus.
Yeah, they're they are suckers. They're gullible. They're the people who bought the snake oil from the snake oil salesman. That's them.
That's right. Snake oil salesman. And hey, I wonder if Tom can actually handle poisonous snakes. You think he can?
I believe that Tom can do anything because I believe that Tom is higher than God because Tom exists.
I think he can probably drink windshield washer fluid and he'll survive.
I believe that Tom has been drinking windshield washer fluid since he was a child, and and yes, he will survive.
Or maybe he was sniffing it. I don't know.
But he's very triggered right now.
Yeah, the Bible says that he should be able to handle poisonous snakes, no problem.
One of the Gospels I think says that.
Yeah, but that was added later on.
It's probably John because John's got
it was at the end of Mark.
Oh, really?
That was added in the 2nd century, so it's fake.
Of course, Mark was probably written in the 2nd century, so yeah.
No, Mark was the first gospel around 70.
Oh, right.
That part.
Okay, this is the way it works. Mark was written 40 years after Jesus' death.
Yeah.
Then Matthew was written or Luke was written. I don't know which was. One of them was written 10 years later, so 50 years, and then the next one was written 60 years, and then John was written.
To 90.
John was written 85 to 90 years after Jesus' death.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, that at the end of the verses that are at the end of Mark, the verses from 8 to 20, or I think 12 to 20.
Yeah.
That was added in the 2nd century.
Yeah.
So that's an interpolation.
Yeah, we know that.
I think Eusebius, Eusebius at Crook?
Eusebius of Nicomedia?
Yeah, the Eusebius, what a crook, man. He actually added the interpolation in Josephus, and he also added the verses in the end of Mark. What a crook that guy was, man.
Well, all of Christianity is crookery.
Yeah, I think it's just people making up shit as they go along.
No, it's not making up shit. It's making up shit to profit. It's all about job creation. All of religion is about job creation. Because you got to have your clerics, and you got to have your institutions, and your schools, and your fundraisers, and your this and your that and the other, and it takes people, and it's a job, it's a career, it's a company. It sells bullshit, and people buy it, so it survives. Yeah,
I'm sorry, Tom, but you've been fucked up the ass by Jesus.
What is it like to have Jesus fuck you up the ass and then come right up in your rectum?
Holy shit! Okay, I wouldn't go there.
Well, I'm not sure how it works, because I know that the whole Jesus cult is a gay cult.
Yeah.
You know how I know this. Again, Tom Rabbit put up a clip of Darth Dawkins and his Christian buddies, just them, no atheists, just Darth Dawkins and his Christian buddies, and and they were talking amongst themselves, and guess what they were talking about?
Kyle Rittenhouse.
They were talking about penises.
Oh.
Well, that's how I know that it's one big gay closet. All of Christianity is a fucking gay closet.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with the Christianity is that we know that the Gnostics, the early Greeks, developed this religion, right? Developed the almost the essence of the religions that came about after them. Yeah. Right. So they had a lot of phallic. Symbols
right.
In there,
right.
Right?
Well, sex wasn't
a taboo.
Wasn't taboo in any way like it is today.
Yeah, what these Greeks did is what these priests, whenever a person reached the age of puberty or whatever, right? They would send these boys into the temple with these temple princesses, right?
Yeah.
And they would teach these boys how to have sex. Right? I mean, this is what they would do in order to initiate these boys into society, right? Because then after that, they can say, "Oh, I can get married now. I'm fine," right? I've already had, I've had this hot chick in the temple, so I'm good.
So Nissa asked, "What video was that, Sidney Winston? I've been binge watching Tom Rabbit. Which video is what? The one where Darth was talking about penises with his Christian friends? Is that the one you're talking about? Because I could probably find it for you."
Hey, Tom, you don't have any logical arguments either, man. Look at him. All you have is insults in your... When did we insult him? Did we insult him?
Did we insult him?
In your high...
I hope so.
We didn't insult him.
Absolutely, I insulted him.
Your hive mind group. Hive mind. You have a hive mind too.
What's hive mind actually mean? You stupid.
Hive mind is like, your in-group. You also have an in-group, Tom, so don't be hypocritical, you dummy.
Hive mind. Literally. Hive mind.
Group. No debate or logical... You didn't bring any logical arguments, Phantom. Phantom prophet. That's actually a perfect name because he is a phantom. It's like a nobody prophet. He's like a ghost prophet. That's what he is.
Well, he's like all the other prophets, false.
Yeah.
I'm looking for this link.
Still waiting to hear one of you yes men actually present a counter to my argument, but you can't, can you? What argument? You didn't present an argument.
Exactly.
All you made was claims.
He's a little delusional today there, buddy.
You just made claims, Phantom. I would actually stick with your scripture. I would argue with you biblically whether your God exists or not. You know, because if we just stick with the Bible, you're done for, Tom. There's nothing in the Bible that you can actually show that your God exists, because the Bible is bullshit. Okay? Everything in the Bible, when it comes to slavery, when it comes to selling your daughter, when it comes to Exodus, when it comes to Moses writing the Torah or the 5 books, is fucking bullshit, man.
Hey,
so there's no arguments there.
Yeah. Go on me. I'm just looking.
Even in the New Testament, you fail. Jesus fails. So if I can debunk your Bible, I can debunk your God.
There you go.
Easy.
Nisa, try that one. We still have to get to the point where the people like Tom Prophet have to understand that we don't consider that a God or his God, any God, is possible. There's no such thing as the possibility of God. Okay, it's impossible. Matter is eternal, has always been. Why can't these people not be honest and say, yes, we understand that that's what you believe. You believe that matter is eternal, was never created, will never be destroyed, has always been here. That's your axiom. That's your starting point. That's it. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you.
Back. I just have to,
my microphone is worrying me. But anyway, if you just acknowledge what our position really is before you go ahead and start bullshitting and telling us what we think. If you just acknowledge that our position is that energy is eternal, never created, never destroyed, always been. That's our position on matter, eternal. You have to be able to accept that's our axiom. Okay? Once you do that, we can move forward a little bit. But while you've got these blinders on, you can forget it.
Yeah, but I don't even think he understands what atheism is, though. That's the thing.
That's that's my point. Exactly.
He's conflating atheism with just a non-belief in a God, right? Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, it is.
No, it's not. It's not a non-belief in a God.
If you're a hard atheist, it is.
Yes.
Right?
No, I am a hard atheist. Gods are impossible. It's not. I don't believe in a God. There are no gods to believe in. Gods are impossible. That's where they think that they have the upper hand.
So that's another axiom that you should add to your axiom list.
What? What do you think?
That as a hard atheist, I believe that it's impossible for gods to exist.
Well, all gods are imaginary. Kind of is the same thing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So the guy comes in here, and he sees all gods are imaginary. Prove me wrong, and then he tries to tell me about an analogy in the real world about the car factory or something.
Yeah. That's bullshit.
Absolute
Why do they always
bullshit.
go to cars? Why do they always use like physical
They
things?
use what they've learned from the person they're parroting.
Why can't they use the motion of the planets and all that shit as an analogy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that would be more relevant. Because I mean, didn't God create the solar system? Right? I mean,
where I like to stop. Let's go back. Like the question the Christian asks is, where did you get life from? Where does life come from for you? And the answer is obviously from the sun. Without the sun, we don't exist. So the sun is a prime cause for how our evolution thrived. It's because of the sun. And that's enough to know the answer to the question of where did I come from? Where did life come from? Everything came from the sun. We first have to have an acknowledgement from Christianity that yes, everything comes from the sun. Okay? Once we have that acknowledgement worldwide, everybody agrees, then we can carry on talking. But until then, these guys are just going to make up their bullshit.
I wonder if this guy Tom believes in Adam and Eve.
Of course he does.
You think so?
Yes. Why wouldn't he? He believes in fantasies and in fairy tales.
Then why would he argue the way he does? He says he doesn't believe in any god, or he believes in some kind of creator god.
Because he's got two opinions.
And he doesn't believe in any of the gods that the religions have made on Earth. So I don't know. What would you classify that as? That's a mystic. Yeah, no. He's like a sage or a guru or something, or
in other words, a storyteller.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually perfect. Yeah, that's a storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
A sage, a yogi. I'll call him Yogi. Hey, Phantom Yogi Prophet. You believe in fairy tales, my man. Adam and Eve is a myth. There was no two people as Adam and Eve. Get over it. Sorry.
Thank you, Nissa. I read it. John Rapp. He says, Phantom Prophet, you just still don't realize that you monologued, ignored the panel, spoke over them, and cut them off mid-sentence to continue your next idea. That's why you got put in the corner. Exactly. Thank you.
Well, no, he just rambles on and on. There's like no fucking punctuation points. There's no grammatical consistency.
Well, the thing is that there's no end. I don't care about anything else. There's no end. It just never stops. He never says. Right. He never says, "Okay, I've said my piece. Go ahead."
No, he never says, "Okay, your turn."
Yeah.
He never says that.
No.
Exactly right. Yeah.
How long could I carry on?
Yeah. It's almost like a fucking unending Mozart symphony.
Oh my God!
And I like Mozart.
I like a stress-free life. As soon as things get stressful because of Christianity and because of the closed-mindedness of theists, then my blood pressure starts to rise like a volcano exploding.
Hey, Phantom Prophet, you know that Adam and Eve is bullshit, right? I hope you know that. I think he knows that.
I think he knows that.
I think he knows that, okay? Because even the Catholic Church recognizes that Adam and Eve is fucking mythology, right?
Even
I hope
the Catholic Church actually recognizes that evolution is good. Is real science, yeah.
Yeah.
But they haven't explained.
Yeah, and I just heard that they also recognize that Adam and Eve never existed. That is their. They say that Adam and Eve was all mythology.
I know, but how do they get their God into the picture? How do they crowbar God into a universe that where matter or energy has always been present and never had to be created because it was always there? How does he get God to fit into the real world picture? He can't. I mean, the Catholic Church.
Well, the Catholic Church secretly hate the Jews. They do.
I don't see why. Why is it such a secret? I don't think it's a secret at all.
I don't think it's a secret either, but I mean, we know that for sure that there's an ongoing feud.
Yeah, but at the same time, so do the Lutherans, who are Protestants. So
I mean, look at all the carnage the Catholic Church has done, even in Ireland, all across the frickin' European countries, and Southeast Asia, or in all of that, the Crusades and all that shit. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we can't have. The thing is, we can't have. I don't understand. I want to have a conversation about just God. Just God, because all gods are imaginary. That's all the conversation I want to have. Why do I have to subject myself to listening to scripture and analogies of fucking car factories and stuff that has absolutely no connection to my claim that all gods are imaginary, and prove me wrong? To bring a car factory is not going to prove me wrong.
That's right.
So there's a big failing on the part of the theists, and especially the Christians.
I mean, it's almost like they have to go the Otangelo route. You know what I mean?
What do you mean by that?
They have to start talking about abiogenesis and showing that abiogenesis is impossible, right?
Abiogenesis. Hey, you know something? I watched a show the other day that showed exactly how life did form, because basically life is amino acids, right? The building blocks of life. The building blocks. Don't tell me what they don't know, because I'm about to tell you what they do know. The building blocks of life are amino acids, and amino acids are comprised of 4 separate components. Okay, so the 4 components are not alive. They're not living, but they are components. They do exist.
Yeah.
Okay. One of them is lipids. One of them is, I think, proteins, and one of them is something I forget what the other are. But because of the way lipids work, it's possible for lipids to form a sort of a closed sphere, and to capture those other things within the sphere, and so that they can actually work with each other and make something out of nothing. Yeah. Which is not out of nothing. It's just that with everything floating around, nothing can happen. Nothing can interact. But once the lipids actually, once the lipids plus the other, what are they called? Elements. Once they're inside this lipid cocoon, then they can interact with each other, and that's how life started in the sea, like that. Because there was nothing to stop what's inside the lipid shell. There was nothing to stop it from happening, because it was protected, and that's how life started. So to say that we don't have an explanation is nonsense. We do.
And you know what a lipid is, right?
Yes.
A lipid is a fat.
A lipid is fat, but it's the way the lipid cells are constructed. Okay, they basically if you can imagine a chess piece, like a pawn. Okay, If you can measure a chess piece like a pawn, and that's a lipid. If you take a pawn and you turn it on the side, and you take another pawn and you stick them back to back, then you've got you've got the makings of a protective string. And if you make a whole bunch of them, like in a circle, then you've got like a sphere, and within that sphere you captured the other things that make life.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
They have what's called lipids that are hydrophobic, and they have lipids that are hydrophilic. Hydrophobic rejects water, it expels water from its surface, and hydrophilic actually attracts water. So there's a balance between the inside and the outside of the membrane, right? They have to establish some kind of balance, right? So they have that's where the osmosis process comes in, where they have to establish a balance. But you also have amino acids that have charge, that they actually have positive and negative charges to them.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly where these basic building blocks of life come from. You have to have certain kind of electron or protonic charges that actually form things. Because look at the ATP synthase machine, right?
The what?
It's the ATP synthase machine that produces energy for mitochondria cells. It uses protons. It's actually so small that it actually can utilize the proton energy and hydrogen energy to produce energy for the cell, ATP, right? So I mean, these are all positively and negatively charged particles that are interacting with each other. There's no God in between there. It's a pure chemical, chemical process. That's all it is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I guess. I don't know. I don't know much about chemistry, but I watched the video the other day about this how life formed, what they called life from non-life. So yes, life did come from non-life, and it's not a big mystery.
Yeah. Well, when you're talking about consciousness, that's a different story. Consciousness only arrives from multiple cells coming together and forming, and cooperating together, and forming a network or a neural network or whatever, and developing these structures, right? That's what I think. You can't have consciousness without a freaking brain. Why do these people think that consciousness is a spirit? Is a spirit?
They think that consciousness is the original mind of God or something.
I don't know. I think that's
dumb. It's dumb. It's absolutely dumb.
That's a huge assumption, man.
It's a huge fairy tale.
Yeah.
So what time zone are you in? It's 11:36 for me.
Oh shit! I'm late.
Are you in the east?
I'm east, yeah.
Eastern time. That's okay. You don't have to get up in time. You don't have to get up tomorrow. It's Friday, isn't it?
It's Friday. I gotta look for a job, man. I need a fucking job.
Oh, so you don't want to get up too early for that? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You gotta find a fucking job, otherwise I'm done.
Who's going to give you a job on a Friday? Nobody goes into work on a Friday expecting to actually do any work.
No.
What kind of job are you looking for? What kind of...
Right now, at this point, anything. Because I used to work for a fucking bank. And the bank... I don't know. This fucking bank is fucked up, man. I got sick of it. I worked for them for 10 years.
So you quit?
I quit, man. It's like I can't handle it anymore.
You quit before you found another job?
Yeah. Well, I was working for a friend for a while, but it's getting down to the wire now. I gotta find something other than fucking a bank position where I have to fucking lie to people.
Administration of some sort?
Well, yeah, I was mostly in sales in a bank.
Oh well, then you've got lots of there's lots of jobs on sales in sales.
No,
Like,
no, I know, I know.
telesales.
But I don't want to go there anymore. It's too fucking stressful. I can't
It
handle
is
it.
stressful, but then what else do you want? You could become a barista.
Well, I wanna lose weight, so I want to get a physically demanding job.
Nah, fuck that. Get a girlfriend.
I don't want to get too fucking fat and sit on the couch all day watching YouTube.
No, no. Get a dog that you have to walk or something.
I can't take care of a dog. It's fucking.
Wow, that's too bad.
No, I'm jogging. I'm taking care of my weight and myself, so that's okay.
Jogging, nice.
Yeah, I bike ride as well. So I mean I'm an active guy, but I need to get a job that's physically demanding because I just need to move all the time. I don't know.
Well, there's tons of jobs. I mean, the economy should be rife with jobs that need physical something, whatever.
Yeah. No, I applied to Amazon. They haven't called me back yet. I don't know. They every day they're putting out applications for hiring $18 an hour, whatever.
For Amazon.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you said you don't want to you want a stress-free job. Amazon's the most stressful job you'll ever have.
No, I want to be up on my feet. I don't care about fucking sorting packages. That's not stressful.
Why don't you also? What state are you in?
I'm in Ontario.
Oh. In that case, Canada Post. What about them?
Huh?
Canada Post.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah. They're not hiring for some reason.
How about laborer?
Yeah, I've done many labor jobs.
Just about any construction company will hire you because if it's anything like Vancouver, it's really easy to get a job in construction because there's tons of it.
Yeah.
Although, I personally wouldn't want to do it, but.
Yeah.
But you.
What I'm thinking about doing is just getting a job shoveling snow for the winter, and you can make pretty good money, man, for the whole winter.
All right then, that's a good one.
You can make maybe about $15,000 for the.
Well, there you go. Just
hope
that you get snow
for the winter season, and then all you gotta do is just make sure you're fit and there on time.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. They pay good, actually. The government pays good for snow shoveling.
Well, then why don't you go that route?
Yeah, I've done that actually every year, even when I had a full-time job.
Okay, well then you don't have to worry about too much.
Yeah.
You just got to worry about what happens in the springtime.
Yeah. Made some really good extra money for vacations and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so this fucking guy Phantom is still in the chat.
The chat is a thing on its own. It's like we chat here, and they chat there, and they're their community. They're a community in the chat room, and we're a community in the conversation room.
Listen to this. Yeah. This guy says, "I am not the light, but the light was in me." Phantom, do you know that's a fucking Gnostic principle? You didn't get that from Jesus. Jesus never said that. That's all Gnostic. So don't be like I think you are the heretic. The Gnostics are the true people. You are the heretic. The Christians are the heretic.
Sure. Well, the thing is, everybody's a heretic to somebody. Even the most devout Muslim is a heretic to the Catholics or to the Jews or to the whatever,
Yeah.
And it works all the way around. Everybody, Catholics are heretic to the Protestants and to the Muslims, to the Jews, and it's just a shit show.
That's right. I'm sure Phantom's a heretic to somebody.
Phantom is a heretic to the car factories, the motor car industry.
He's almost like an Artangelo when he brings up the car factories.
No, Artangelo's respectful.
No, Artangelo says that the human cell is like a factory.
And Artangelo is respectful to women, unlike Tom Prophet.
Oh, he's like a Jill.
Yeah, he has. Nissa Threepwood has picked up on it. He's really inappropriate. He doesn't know how to speak to women. He's got poor social skills. I think you're quite right, Nissa.
Do you think he might be a misogynist?
Of course, he's Christian.
Well, we know Jill is a misogynist. That's for
sure.
Jill,
all Christians, yeah. Oh, yeah, all Christians are misogynists.
Yeah.
In fact, all Abrahamic religions are misogynist.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, Islam is kind of different because they actually venerate Mary. They actually gave her a whole chapter in the Quran just devoted to Miriam. Surah Miriam, which is Mary. But the Christians don't give a chapter to Mary. The Catholics do. They kind of venerate Mary, so it's weird.
That's why the Protestants don't like the Catholics, because they pray to Mary.
What's up with the Christians? They don't like the Mother of God? What is up with that, man? The Mother of God is like...
I guess because Mother of God is not mentioned in the scriptures.
No, because it's misogynist. They don't like women.
Of course, that could be too, yeah. Double whammy.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They Jill told me once, I was talking to him, he said, you know what, women are great and everything when they're getting your beer and your sandwiches, and all they are is just incubators. That's all I see them as.
That's Christianity.
That's what he said. That's what he said to me.
Yeah, that's Christianity.
I said, what the fuck are you doing? Holy shit. And I said, Jill, okay, listen, it's lunchtime right now. Shouldn't you be taking your wife out of a cage in a basement to make you a sandwich? And he started laughing.
Why can't she make the sandwich in the cage? In the basement.
It's like what they do in Kazakhstan. They still keep their women in cages.
They do?
You know the movie Borat?
Yeah. Okay.
That's exactly what Christianity is. Misogynistic bastards.
Yeah. I mean, you figure that it's been going on for a couple of thousand years.
Yeah.
It's ingrained in those descendants, because there's lots of families that have literally generations further back that they can remember of being Christians or being Catholics or being Lutheran or being whatever. So they pretty much indoctrinated and brainwashed from the very beginning. It's generational.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was reading Wikipedia the other day, right? And I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, but I was reading about early Christians and how Christianity came about. And they mentioned that early Christians actually used to kill their baby girls because they only wanted boys. Did you know that?
There's no difference between early Christians and what they do in the Muslim world, in the Islamic world.
Yeah, what do they call that? Patricide or something like that?
Infanticide, isn't it?
Well, infanticide is just killing kids, but in birth. But they used to kill only the girls.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, that was a practice in early Christianity until it was fucking outlawed in one of the councils. And then it spread to fucking Japan and Korea and all these other places.
Oh, no. Not Japan and Korea.
Yeah, where there used to be, where these people adopted the patriarchal system, where, the man was considered the most powerful thing because of physical stature and all that bullshit. What the fuck? You see how religion can poison everything, man?
Diplomacy is the most important thing over everything else. And I don't see the difference between a man and a woman when it comes to being di- diplomats or being diplomatic.
Yeah, exactly.
So all this nonsense about the men being stronger, therefore they're the head and all this kind of crap. Bullshit.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
that is fucking bullshit. I mean, I think any woman would be happy to share a relationship with a man that's equal. You know what I mean? In the household. I'm just talking about in the household. You know what I mean? I don't think any woman goes into a relationship thinking that they're gonna dominate that relationship or be, try to be the head of the household. I don't know about that. Do you think that's fair?
I think, yeah, women are narcissists just as much as men can be. So yeah, why not?
Yeah. Well, I mean, women. Well, I don't think. I think women are kind of. They're more in order. They like things.
They're more diplomatic.
They're more. Yeah. They like to be in control of things, right?
Of course. Yeah.
And a lot of men don't like that. They don't like structure. That's what I think the inherent issue is.
That's why I think women should be running this planet. And
Me too.
because I swear, men have made such a fucking mess that we should all say, okay, all right, we give up, we fucked up, we didn't know what we're doing. Your turn. It's like when the British handed over the mandate to the United Nations and said, we give up. Well, that's what we should do. We should hand over all the control to the women. Let them figure out the running the governments and diplomacy and how to stop all the wars and how to get along with one another. Let's do that. Let the women out of their cages and let them free.
Yeah, yeah. But you see, but religions don't want that. They don't want that. They want to keep women in their cages. They want to put fucking burqas and coverings over women.
You lose control when you do that. You don't.
You want to keep them out of education.
And you lose power.
Wow. Christopher Hitchens had a great point, man. If you want to empower a social, city or social diplomacy, you have to empower women. You have to give them. You can't.
Not only do you have to empower women, men have to step back and let women take the helm.
No, I'm just saying that there has to be some kind of equality there.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, it's a symbiotic relationship. They feed off each other, right? And I think that's what nature is. Nature is a symbiosis. Look at what happened with the prokaryotes and the eukaryotes, right? They combined. They developed a symbiotic relationship with each other, right? And bacteria, right? And I mean, that's one of the mechanisms of evolution is endosymbiosis or symbiotic relationships. That's one of the mechanisms, right?
You're talking about like micro?
Well, yeah, we have to mitochondria in the cell, right?
Okay.
Mitochondria is actually a bacteria, was a separate bacteria outside of the cell, long time ago in ancient, and then the prokaryotic cell engulfed this bacteria, right? Mm-hmm. But it couldn't eat it. It couldn't, digest it or whatever. So the mitochondria became part of the cell and started producing energy for the cell, and it became in symbiosis with the cell. The cell provided shelter for the mitochondria from from bacteria being eaten.
Yeah.
And the bacteria provided energy for the cell. So they developed a symbiotic relationship, right? Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what I think nature is. I mean, if you look at a lot of the mechanisms in nature, the symbiosis going on like a flower. A flower has its petals. The reason why it develops the certain color of petals because bees are attracted to, and because of the eyesight that they have, the colors that they see, they can actually hone into these flowers that have the most nectar, right?
Mm-hmm.
They develop a symbiotic relationship with each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's what nature is, a balance.
Mm-hmm.
And we come along and we fuck up that balance,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're the worst species. We're the worst species totally.
Yeah.
We're the most destructive, callous, inhumane, unfeeling, unempathetic. We're just a disaster for this planet. For the planet.
Well, no, I wouldn't say go that far. I would just say that humans have to figure out how the hell we can develop a symbiotic relationship with nature. You know what I mean? Instead of
yeah, but I mean, how long we've been around for 100,000 years?
Yeah, but that's going to take technology.
We haven't even agreed that we have to figure out how to get along with nature.
Yeah, but look at the Industrial Revolution. That's only been around for 150 years.
Yes.
Religion has kept people from fucking advancing.
Yes.
In the past fucking 1,000
exactly.
years, right?
No, 2,000 fucking years.
So the Industrial Revolution has only been around for 150 years, right?
Yeah, all right.
Up until now. So I mean, it's a matter of just getting refined and exploring more technological advances, solar power, renewable energy, electric cars, all of that shit.
I figure that the Industrial Revolution must have started around the 1700s. Around when was the steam train, the steam engine invented?
Yeah, probably around the 1800s.
Robert Louis Stevenson or whoever the fuck, I don't remember who.
Yeah, and then you had Henry Ford, obviously. It fucking kicked things off with the combustion engine and all that shit.
In the 1700s, no.
No, that was probably in the early.
He came along in the early 20th century.
Yeah, early 1900s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this is the thing that we have to figure out, and this is, I think, the main goal of humanists and atheists is that how do we establish a symbiotic relationship with nature?
You get along. You get rid of fucking religion. You get rid of the churches. You get rid of God. You bring everybody to their senses. Everybody lives in a world of reality, and we might actually agree to concentrate and focus on the better well-being of the planet and of humanity and of your neighbor. Maybe that'll happen, but it's not going to happen until while Christianity is a force.
Yeah, because they think they think they're actually providing a service to humanity. These religions, right? I'm not picking on Christianity just solely. I'm thinking all religions. They think they're providing a service, but they're actually not. It's like an incognito service they're providing. They it's like a prima facie service. On the face it looks good, but as soon as you get down to the nitty gritty and look behind the face, it's bullshit, right?
Yeah.
This is the essence of religion.
The essence is
the
money.
essence is this.
Money,
The essence is this presenting this great picture and reward system, and this epiphany or Elysium system to humanity, and then fucking just ripping everything out on the end, right? On the other side.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You because look at it, because they promise you this ultimate salvation, but then what do you have to do to get the salvation?
You just got to say, "I believe."
Yeah. That's all. You have to become. You have to become this. You strive to become this perfect human being, and then in the process you lose your humanity, right? Because now you think that you're a perfect human being, and you're better than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So in the process, you lose your humanity, right?
And yes, exactly. And you gain in arrogance.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I think religions are poison, man. Poison to society.
That's
the main
well.
reason.
That's one of the reasons that we're trying to kick it off its pedestal.
Yeah, it's almost like these religions are wolves in sheep's clothing. That's a perfect analogy. You know what I mean?
Mm.
They it's almost like they skinned the sheep, and they use the sheep to cover
Oh, I see.
their wolves' ears. So they're coming to you pretending to be sheep, but then after they take the sheepskin off, they're wolves,
Yeah.
right?
Once you sign the membership form.
Right. That's what I mean by wolves in sheep's clothing.
Well, I didn't accomplish my objective tonight.
What was your objective?
My objective was to assert that all gods are imaginary and for somebody to come and prove me wrong. But that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I might do this every night, just until somebody proves me wrong.
Well, yeah, no, don't give up. Don't give up on that, you know.
No, I like this. This is exactly what what I like to focus on. Because all the other stuff is crap. Is nonsense. It's collateral.
Yeah. But I mean, I know it can get pretty heated on your channel here, Sidney.
Yeah. I've got to learn to get a thicker skin. I'm gonna.
I'm thinking maybe you should get some structure going, like maybe informal debates or formal debates.
I tried that, but you guys don't listen. I said to you guys, I've got your 2 minutes. I had the timer and everything, but nobody listened to me.
That was so unorganized, though.
What do you mean it was organized? If you listen to me, it's not organized.
I never knew who was talking.
That's because you were all interrupting each other. But you're right. I should have structure. I need help in structuring the structure.
Well, no, I like what you're doing. Is you want to get down to the nitty gritty of things, which is commendable. And
Thank you.
I don't like people bullshitting all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like I like talking about certain philosophical things, but I don't like religious people using philosophy to defend their religion. That's an oxymoron to me, right?
That's all they got.
Well, when they use philosophy to defend their religion, they're actually coming into the atheist or the secular worldview, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say don't do that.
Well, I want facts. We want facts.
Yeah, I want to go to your Bible. I want you to defend your Bible. I want you to look at the stories in the Bible and tell me if these stories make sense.
Exactly.
That's what I want to focus on.
Yeah.
And if they see that their stories don't make sense, then they're gonna think about it and they're gonna say, "Oh, this is bullshit."
Yeah, but they won't do that. I mean, look, a lot of them have, and a lot of them have.
Oh no, they will.
Yeah, but you're probably right. Actually, you're probably right.
Yeah. I think it depends mostly on that Bible,
Mm-hmm.
and the Quran, and the Torah, or the Old Testament, and once you can fucking make them see that, what the fuck are these stories about? Like the two bears killing a bald guy, killing 42 kids for making fun of it. What the fuck is that all about? You ask them, did that really happen?
It says so in the Bible.
Really
but it's in the Bible.
It's in the Bible.
Yeah.
Right? What is that? Do you think that?
Do you think that's promoting? That's promoting good morals? I don't think so.
Exactly. Yeah. What about the Japheth and his daughter, like promising to, to sacrifice the first thing that comes out of his house if he wins the war? What the fuck is that all about? Come on, God.
It's all about somebody's wild imagination.
Yeah. The Jonah and the fish. Come on, man. It's a fairy tale.
In 2,000 years, Harry Potter will be worshipped.
Probably they'll have like fucking.
It'll be worshipped. Well, replace Jesus.
Allahu Akbar, J.K. Rowling.
No, Islam will be gone, and Christianity will be gone. Everything will be gone, and Harry Potterism, the Harry Potter religion.
Potter.
Harry Potter.
The Hare Krishnas will go Harry Potter.
That's funny. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. And then Wesley and Hermione.
Ooh, what?
Yeah. You know the other characters in Harry Potter, Wesley and Hermione.
I don't know Harry Potter.
You don't know Harry Potter?
I know that Harry Potter and Voldemort and whatever else terms, but I don't know the stories. I haven't followed them. I haven't read them or whatever.
Okay, that's all right.
You know, it's just I'm not really that into fiction.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Just read the Bible. That's enough.
Well, any fiction, the most fiction I've ever read has always come from the Bible.
Yeah, that's right. Did you see how Dr. Josh and Dr. Kip did a video responding to Inspiring Philosophies video on Genesis?
No.
Go to Dr. Kip's channel, right?
Okay.
Dr. Kip on YouTube. Oh, no, sorry. Kip Davis, KIPP DAVIS.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that channel. All right.
And he has he did a collaboration with Dr. Josh from Digital Hammurabi.
Okay.
And they totally debunked the Inspiring Philosophies video on Genesis. And they go into so much fucking detail, right? Like I was surprised if Inspiring Philosophy does a response video to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know who Inspiring Philosophy is?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
IP Michael Jones.
Well, I don't know who the person is, but I know his work. I've watched his videos.
He has this digital physics argument that he made up. It's like, oh, it's fucking weird as shit, man.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so go to Kip Davis's channel, watch that video, and I think you'll be well informed by that video, man. Or maybe even ask permission to mirror it on your site and address it one night. You know.
What was it about? You said.
It's about debunking Genesis and how Genesis is actually stolen from the Sumerian and Akkadian stories.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to find it right now.
Yeah, just type in Kip Davis on YouTube, I think. Let me see. Kip Davis.
And what was it called?
Let me go to his channel. I'll tell you.
No, you don't have to. I'm there. I'm looking for it. What was it called again?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the duplicitous scholarship of Michael Jones. Was Genesis stolen from pagan myths? It's like the first video there.
Yeah, but I've watched so many videos confirming that everything was stolen.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously.
But I mean, but these are scholars. These guys are scholars, right?
Yeah, but they're not the first ones to come up with this. I've heard Genesis debunked many times.
Yeah.
And this is not the first time.
Yeah. Are you subscribed to this channel called Myth Vision?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Okay, good.
I love that channel.
Yeah, so subscribe to Dr.
Kip
Davis there.
Yeah, I just did.
And he also did a debunking of Josh McDowell. You know who Josh McDowell is?
Josh McDowell, no.
This pastor preacher.
No.
You gotta watch that. He goes around telling the same fucking story over and over again on how he became a Christian, and he made like fucking millions of dollars telling the same story over and over again. fleecing the people of money. Gotta watch that as well. The second video there. Joshua McDowell, manuscript hunting and myth making for Jesus. Yeah, check out his channel, man. It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go to bed, man.
No problem at all. I'm gonna call this this stream a wrap.
All right, Sidney.
Myself. But thanks for dropping in. Thanks for participating.
Okay, no problem, man.
Yeah, and we'll see you. I'll probably be doing this every day now.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll see you around.
Yeah. Take care, man.
Okay, cheers, man.
Why should we suppose that this one is any exception to the rule?
Why are you not a Christian?
Because I see no evidence whatever for any of the Christian dogmas. I've examined all the stock arguments in favor of the existence of God, and none of them seem to me to be logically valid.
Do you think there's a practical reason for having a religious belief for many people?
Well, there can't be a practical reason for believing what isn't true. That's quite, at least I rule it out as impossible. Either the thing is true or it isn't. If it is true, you should believe it, and if it isn't, you shouldn't. And if you can't find out whether it's true or whether it isn't, you should suspend judgment. But you can't, it seems to me, the fundamental dishonesty and the fundamental treachery to intellectual integrity to hold a belief because you think it's useful and not because you think it's true.
Well, I was thinking of those people who find that some kind of religious code helps them to live their lives. It gives them a very strict set of rules, the rights and the wrongs.
Yes, but those rules are generally quite mistaken. A great many of them do more harm than good. And they would probably be able to find a rational morality that they could live by if they dropped this irrational, traditional, taboo morality that comes down from savage ages.
But are we, perhaps, the ordinary person, perhaps isn't strong enough to find this own personal ethic? They have to have something imposed upon them from outside.
Oh, I don't think that's true. And what is imposed on you from outside is of no value whatever. It doesn't count.
Well, you were brought up, of course, as a Christian. When did you first decide that you did not want to remain a believer in the Christian ethic?
I never decided that I didn't want to remain a believer. I decided between the ages of 15 and 18, I spent almost all my spare time thinking about Christian dogmas and trying to find out whether there was any reason to believe them. And by the time I was 18, I discarded the last of them.
Do you think that that gave you an extra strength in your life?